Welcome, everybody, to episode number 43 of the Dragon's Den podcast here on my YouTube, on X, on Facebook, on Rumble. We're all over the place tonight, and hopefully I'll still have internet connection because as soon as I started the show, it started disconnected and connected. So hope everything looked okay. Did it look okay to you guys?
Yeah, it looked fine.
Okay, well, let's have fingers crossed here tonight. Hopefully things will go off without a hitch. But anyway, my name's Eric Hopkins, aka Joe. Welcome to the show. Episode number 43 of the Dragon's Den podcast. We got Miranda Nicole at the top right. We got Big Goose, Brendan on the bottom left, and Matthew on the bottom right there as well. Hopefully tonight we'll be joined by Aaron as always. He always likes to come in about the middle of the show after he goes and gets groceries with the family. So we'll see him a little bit later.
I didn't realize
on.
I never changed it from Big Goose yet.
Oh, really? He hadn't noticed? Well, now you know. So you can go right ahead of that. So,
yeah, I'm still not fired.
Well, that's good. No. In real life and on the show, but you know,
that's
be careful.
That's debatable.
Yeah, you better tread softly here because we run a tight ship, man. If you
that's
just
debatable.
Gonna say, I already got rid of Dan, so he's not been back since. So.
I had enough for you for one day.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, one day only.
Yeah. Brother, all it took was one day, and it wasn't even on one. It wasn't even all day. It was periodically throughout the day, and I made my mind up that I was done with Matt like several times today.
Oh yeah,
I know. I was like,
I mean, I can understand. I mean, I fully get it.
Wow.
Matt's one of those people who's just better off in small doses. You know what I mean?
Like, I love how we're talking about him like he's not right there. Like,
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's okay because all he comes in is a small dose because he's so short. But it's okay.
Wow.
Miranda, you there?
Come on, bring out the short joke.
Yeah, I think her camera was just a little freezy there, but I think she's still there. Her eyebrows moved. That's all I know. So, all right, no, you're fine. It's Miranda that's freezing up a little bit. Yeah. Well, hopefully the technical issues is not going to be the name of the game tonight. Dude, let's hope that's not the case.
Let's not.
Yeah, let's please not. But it's I don't want to say too much, but it looks like it might be cleared up a little bit on my end. So hopefully everyone will stay good. So and hopefully if Miranda's freezing, she can get that worked out as well. So anything else fun going on? Brandon's nursing a little bit of an injury for sure.
Brother.
But, you doing okay, buddy?
No, it fucking hurt. Like my ankle still hurts. Like it hurts.
That's karma.
That's what it is. It's because I'm a massive dickhead and.
What did you do now?
I didn't. To be honest, I didn't do anything. I was walking, and like legitimately, like I was in a good place. I was just walking to break, and my knee was like, "Hey, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm out of here." And it just gave out. And the moment it did, it just took a second. My knee gave out, and then my ankle was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna go with you," and and I just fell. I mean, when I say I fell, and like one other person saw me fall, and he did not help me at all. He just laughed. And
wow.
I got up, and I'm like, "Oh, that hurt. Whatever, Nah, it wasn't whatever."
See, my question was more of what did you do to deserve it?
What didn't I do? You hear how I talk to people. You hear how I operate. Like it was only a matter of time.
I'm just saying Miranda said karma. I figured it might have been something specific, but
I don't know. I think I've racked up enough karma at this point.
Yeah. You had this one covered. A little bit. What if that's why I had two bum knees and bad foot?
Doing it to earn more. Like
yeah. See, eventually you got to learn from your mistakes.
Isn't the highest score wins? Like what are we talking about here?
Not this game.
I'm a winner.
It's kind of like golf. You want to have it less strokes.
Yeah. I got up yesterday.
Golf. Think golf.
Think golf.
Low score.
Low score.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, we'll have to figure that out. I didn't master that part yet. But no, I got up yesterday, dude, and it was so swollen. Like I couldn't put any weight on it. It hurt so bad. Like, it was just not good.
Did you say everything else hurt today? Because like I said, you're probably compensating for it. I've been there, done that over the last 6 months. I don't know how many times. Bad knee, then the other knee swells up, and then that foot starts hurting because you're compensating. Then your hip starts hurting because you're compensating for that. Makes your back hurt. It's like, oh my god!
I was why? Just put me down.
Yeah, this whole working thing on concrete is overrated.
Yeah,
for the birds, man.
Yeah,
screw this noise.
Kids, stay young.
Yeah, I want to be forever young. Anyway.
You know what's funny, Eric? That you sing that song. Sierra was listening to that song like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I just heard it like on a Facebook video the other day, and for whatever reason, it's been stuck in my head.
that's
So,
crazy that just you just sung
yeah.
that. Crazy.
Probably going across everybody's Facebook feeds or
Yeah.
something. Just nuts, but yeah. All right, well, let's, like I said, hope and pray that the internet connection holds out. You guys want to get started on tonight's topics? We got a boatload to
Sure
talk
thing.
about in the world of pro wrestling, movies. We got a little sports. We got a bunch of politics, especially some crazy stuff going on there. So let's jump right into it. Let's hit the pro wrestling stuff real quick. All right, so tonight we're probably not going to be talking about any AEW this week, mainly because I've yet to watch this week's shows, so I don't want to ruin them for myself. So that being said, we'll hold off on AEW until next week. Of course, next week AEW Revolution, their pay-per-view is on the weekend, so we'll probably be previewing that here on the channel.
Okay.
Before that show, but this week we got some WWE stuff I wanted to talk about a little bit while we put AEW on the back burner for a week. This week, WWE, I should say, had a little bit of news that came out in regards to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in 2026. It will now be hosting 3 PLEs. So why don't you just put all of your pay-per-views over there then, WWE? You know you want to. I mean, name one city in America that normally gets 2 pay-per-views a year, let alone 3. So, yeah. So what do you think about Riyadh, Saudi Arabia getting 3 pay-per-views in 2026?
I mean, they're paying for them, so
Yeah.
what am I supposed to say to that? Don't make money? Like,
Yeah, it's not a very good business model, but you know what? But that's exactly the reason why they're doing this. If you want to know why they keep going to Saudi Arabia, this is why. $55 million for one event in Saudi Arabia was more than any venue is going to pay for it here in the States. That's for certain. So whether you want to say it's blood money or not, with and all that sort of stuff, that used to be the talking point when WWE first started going over to Saudi Arabia. Like it or not, this is for the almighty dollar. But don't get me wrong, it's good business. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's
Don't
just
make
smart.
money, like,
Yeah, no doubt about that whatsoever. So you got to give it WWE there. Right now, they're probably making more money than they ever have in their entire history based on their TV deals and merchandise and things like that, and all the shows they're doing overseas for certain. And they seem to be pushing more toward overseas shows throughout the course of the year nowadays because they realize it's kind of an untapped market that Vince McMahon rarely tapped into during his tenure. So it's a smart business strategy. Not going to lie to you. Of the 3 pay-per-views coming to Saudi Arabia next year, it is of course King and Queen of the Ring, Crown Jewel, and for the first time outside of the North America, the 39th annual Royal Rumble will be hosted in Saudi Arabia in 2026. So they had the greatest Royal Rumble maybe once or twice a few years ago. I don't necessarily count the greatest Royal Rumble in regards to the Royal Rumble lineage and stuff like that, but this is going to be the actual Royal Rumble. So so Riyadh is going to be getting the men and women's Royal Rumble. I'm sure all the women will be decked up in all the clothes, so they don't show hardly anything over there in Riyadh, but all 30 women will have to go through all that. So Riyadh, what do you think about Royal Rumble next year?
it'll be interesting because I'm curious to see what that looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure obviously it'll be the big stadium show. They usually do pretty decent shows over there. Not gonna lie to you. It's just outside of the greatest Royal Rumbles, I thought like Braun Strowman winning. I'm like, okay, but whatever. Although Titus O'Neil falling underneath the ring when he was running out to the ringside area was hilarious, if you ask me. So I like to see that anytime they show that replay. Mike is joining us in the chat a little bit, at least tonight. We'll see if he's in the chat for the entire night or not. I know he's watching a couple kids. He says it means the shows will be on earlier, freeing your Saturday nights up. So that is true. It'll probably be on like around noon or something over here in the States, probably something to that effect. So yeah, then in that case, that'll be good for sure. Kind of freed up your evenings if you want to go out and have a good time or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm not really worried about the whole, they're going to Saudi Arabia again. But I mean, they are seem to be adding more shows more and more over there as much as they can. So good on them, I suppose.
Maybe it's their market,
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, like I said, they got good paying fans over there, so that's why they're doing it. But in regards to their weekly shows this week, outside of the whole Rock situation that we talked about a little bit last week when he showed up on SmackDown, on the weekly TV shows, there wasn't a whole lot of newsworthy items outside of just their normal build to the pay-per-view this weekend. But we did get new women's tag team champions on Raw with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeating Bianca Belair and Naomi. Naomi got pinned by Liv Morgan after Raquel Rodriguez slammed her face off the top of the steel post. Naomi getting pinned may play into the overall story with Jade Cargill somewhere down the line. And that's why this change has happened, in my opinion. WWE is likely moving in that direction direction, and the titles don't need to be involved right now. Liv and Raquel now have become the first ever 3-time women's tag team champions on Raw. So, do you think with Naomi getting pinned, losing the titles, could Jade Cargill come back and maybe blame her for losing one of her belts that she never lost?
Maybe.
Or more likely, Naomi or Bianca's the one who put her out to begin with. That's kind of the theory I think we've got going on here. So in that regard, could we see maybe Jade Cargill show up this weekend at the Elimination Chamber, costing either Bianca or Naomi the Elimination Chamber spot?
Yeah, I could probably see that.
Yeah, she's got to get in the cage somehow. Of course, that whole thing is kind of a theory going around with Roman Reigns possibly jumping into the men's chamber as well, maybe costing Seth and CM Punk the chamber as well. So I don't know if I want to see that happen twice, if that's the way they end up going about it, but it could be interesting for sure. Mike on the chat said his twins are asleep, actually. Little one about to crash, and the teenager is, well, a teen, so he's just chilling in his room. So there you go. All right, so we might have Mike on the show after all, so that's good to see. Welcome. Good to have you, buddy. Any other thoughts on Liv and Raquel winning the women's tag team championships?
No, it's fine. Like, they don't need the titles for what's going to happen. So I think taking the belts off of Naomi and not Jade, Naomi and
Bianca.
What is her name? Bianca.
There you
works
go.
out just fine.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how many tag teams they've got to. I mean, obviously, Damage Control. You could do that over there on Raw. It seems like maybe there might be a few more women's tag teams on SmackDown. There's a few more on Raw, though. I'm probably not thinking about.
Too, yeah.
And you can bring some up from NXT or something like that. You know, Lash Legend and stuff like that, with a couple others. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see where they go with it. But I think this is good. It also kind of keeps the momentum going with Dirty Dom and the Judgment Day a little bit too. Maybe played into that whole thing that Finn Balor's not been able to win a championship. Liv Morgan's mentioned that a few times, but they have. So maybe it kind of drives that narrative a little bit forward with them maybe kind of clashing a bit there too. Even though I think Finn and JD did hold the men's tag team championships for a little bit there, if I'm not mistaken. But so we'll see where it goes. But outside of that, there were a few good promo segments on Raw with CM Punk, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes. But I felt this week was mostly about setting the stage for Elimination Chamber, obviously coming up here. So with John Cena declaring himself into the men's Elimination Chamber match, we now have the full card for Elimination Chamber that is going to be taking place tomorrow. Still didn't see the actual start time just yet. I don't know if it says on here or not. I don't think it does. Oh, 7 Eastern. So there you go. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But so I'm glad to see the start times a little earlier. I think the Rumble was a little bit earlier, but I think it's supposed to be a little bit longer of a show. So with Elimination Chamber, let's save the Rock part till last, because I got a little bit of a theory or a scenario that Mike actually brought up, that we talk about toward the end here. But when it comes to the other segments, we've got the Elimination Chamber match with the men's: Drew McIntyre, John Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, and Damian Priest. We got the women's Elimination Chamber with Roxanne Perez, Bayley, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Alexa Bliss. We got a tag team match between the women, not championship, with Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, and of course the unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Thoughts on all these? Who do you think are going to be the winners? And whatever you guys think.
Well, Miranda said she's not watching the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match. Not doing
It's going to be violent. It's going to be violent.
I think the men's, I don't know. I have no idea.
That is a toss-up. I think it's going to be Cena, but
I think either Bayley or
I'm going Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss. And I think Tiffany, and unless Trish is eating a pin here,
possible.
I think she'll win that match.
I could maybe see Charlotte Flair getting involved in that, maybe causing Trish to get pinned and setting that stage for Tiffany Stratton. I could definitely see that maybe potentially happening.
But the men's, outside of Cena,
Logan Paul.
That was my best guess.
If that happens, that's going to get some heat, but in a good way, I think. Cena would be Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in that regard.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that would fly with some fans, but
I would
I mean, don't be wrong. He's a hell of a wrestler, like I said, for the short career he's had. Mike said in the chat, anyone but Logan Paul in the men's chamber for him. So
I get it, but like,
yeah, I get it. But at some point, you got to figure they're going to take that step with Logan Paul.
yeah.
So I have to get Mike's answer: yeet or no yeet. Just answer whenever you want to.
Both. Not wrong with either guy.
Close.
I just want to hear what.
He can
But
do either. You know.
If not Logan Paul, maybe Seth. Just because it would piss off and further the story between him and Punk and him and
Roman.
Drew. Yeah, and him and Roman.
That's the key there. Was like Seth and Punk. It's like, are they going to do anything with Roman?
Mm-hmm.
That's the key there. Damian Priest. The thing with me, with Damian Priest and Logan and Drew, what do you do with those three guys at Mania if they're not challenging for the title?
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think most people think it will be Cena versus Cody Rhodes, but
you could put them in a. You could put Priest and either Logan or Priest and Drew in a program for right now. Like either one of those. I think your best bet is going to be Logan and Punk, maybe Priest and Drew. So maybe CM Punk does win it. Or not CM Punk. John Cena does win.
I'll say that if it's not John Cena, I think CM Punk is the next best bet to win because Punk's obviously always wanted to have that main event slot at WrestleMania. Maybe they actually do give that to him this time around.
I think that's too early though.
What do you mean? For Punk?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Punk can do another. Punk can wait another year to get that WrestleMania main event.
He could if he could stay healthy. But that's always the theory when you wait a year for this stuff. Yeah. Like when Cody Rhodes lost that first year, I was like, well, a lot can happen in a year. What if you get hurt again? Mm-hmm. By the way, he tore it, had that problem with his pec or whatnot. Same thing for like if because a lot of people right now are speculating it could be Rock and Roman at WrestleMania 42, since Rock is the one who basically announced that WrestleMania be in New Orleans. And if that's the case, if you announce that match the night after Raw this year, maybe like give a year build to it, like they did Cena and Rock back in the day, that could be very intriguing. But then you're risking either guy getting hurt or something happening, which is always a thing. But you play with it as you go, I suppose. So yeah. But
who do you think wins out of Sammy and Kevin Owens?
That's a tough one. I would probably book it as Kevin Owens, since he's coming off the loss at Royal Rumble. But if you gave it to Sammy, I mean, he kind of could use it as well. I still kind of wonder if it's going to kind of end up being a thing where, they turn Sammy heel. They've kind of backed off on the whole, Sammy's accidentally costing like Seth Rollins victories and things like that. So I don't know.
I don't think it backed off of it. I think it plays into it. I think
right. It's just not been at the forefront the last few weeks, but that doesn't mean they've forgotten it, for sure.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I would lean towards with you. I think Kevin not necessarily needs it more because they don't. Neither one of them need it. But I think to push the story. But also, you could see it the other way around. If Sammy wins, it could. I don't know. And then it's still Orton.
Kevin Owens
Orton could come back.
Talented wrestlers.
Yeah, if Orton comes back, could cost Kevin Owens the match, setting up Orton and Owens at WrestleMania. So that's a very good possibility too. Then I'd be like, well, what do you do with Sammy at WrestleMania? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of question marks with some of the not top tier matches at WrestleMania right now, where some of these other guys are going to slot in. But obviously they've got 6 weeks or so to kind of get us ready for that. Let us know. But so yeah, I'm looking forward to see where some of those other feuds go. But yeah, I think I'm with you on the Trish Stratton, Tiffany, Trish Stratus, Tiffany Stratton, not Trish Stratton, but anyway, I can see Stratus getting a win there in her hometown and all that sort of stuff. But when it comes to the other segment on the show here, obviously, The Rock last week basically come out and told Cody Rhodes he wants his soul. And a lot of people were speculating about what Cody Rhodes is going to decide, as Cody Rhodes will answer the final boss this coming Saturday, as The Rock will be in the house. But our wrestling guru Mike here. To kind of before we get into that, Mike said yeet or no yeet to what? Had to step away for a second. I think he was just asking you. He was just asking you in general, yeet or no yeet. And Slara the Assassin's here says hello, wrestling nerds. So good to have you, Slara. Thank you for watching. But The Rock is going to be there to hear what Cody Rhodes has to say or whatever his answer is. Now, Mike brought up a good, interesting scenario. What if this year we get a rehash of what happened at WrestleMania 17 in 2021? For those of you who don't remember, at that particular WrestleMania, Vince McMahon came out to help his arch enemy, Stone Cold Steve Austin, defeat The Rock and become the new WWE champion. Austin literally sold his soul with a handshake to his enemy, Vince McMahon, the boss at the time. What if this time it's Cody Rhodes defending the the WWE Championship against John Cena, who has won the Elimination Chamber on Saturday, and at some point, The Rock comes out and helps John Cena, who shocks everyone by turning heel as he has sold his soul to win his 17th World Championship and the record for most World Championships won of all time. And then we get corporate Cena during the summer as his final run. Now, this would be one hell of a way to go about it. But I know that Brandon's speculated that Cena could turn heel in his final year here. That would be one thing he's never really done outside of his first few years. But if they do it this way, especially with The Rock, who got screwed over by Vince and Austin that first time around, if he's now the boss and Cena, the guy who would never turn heel, turns heel and joins The Rock, intriguing storytelling. Not gonna lie, even though it is a bit of a rehash. But thoughts on that? What would you think?
That would be interesting. On a lot of levels, it would be interesting to see.
And that storyline is 24 years old, so it's not like it's happened recently.
I can't believe it was that fucking long.
I know. I'm getting old. I mean, I was a year out of high school for me.
Man.
But yeah. Now, to be fair, when this happened with Austin and McMahon, though,
it was a big deal.
It was a big deal, but it also ended up being a bit of a mistake because nobody cared for Stone Cold joining Vince McMahon. The whole allure to the whole feud was they hated each other. Now, it might have gone a little bit further because they did this two-man power trip with Triple H, and Triple H tore his quad, and Triple H had to go away for a while. So Austin got hurt. He was kind of doing backstage segments with guitars and Vince.
But that's what made
those were great.
But that's what turned that whole thing around was when he was hurt and he couldn't compete, doing the guitar thing, and then the whole thing with Kurt Angle. And do you remember the thing when it was the Brothers of Destruction were sent back there? So Kane and Taker.
Oh yeah.
Austin would repeat every other word that Vince would say, and he would look at Undertaker when he did it. Well, apparently Taker was trying not to laugh, and Austin knew that, so he kept doing it. At one point, if you look, you'll see Taker go like this, and he'll cover his mouth. And the reason was because he cracked, and Austin knew it, so Austin kept trying to,
Yeah, and then at one point, Austin slapped him in the chest. He's like, "You do that again, you're gonna pull back a dub." and then Austin then turns around and slaps Kurt Angle because he knew Kurt wouldn't do anything about it. So yeah, it was great storytelling.
But, I get what you're saying, but this was a big deal because it was you had the anti-establishment person in Stone Cold, and you had the boss, and so when they shook hands, it was like the ultimate betrayal.
Yeah.
So I guess in that sense, I could see it, but would it mean more if it was Cody and not? And that's how Cena loses.
It could. But it's interesting too because Rock did actually for whatever reason after SmackDown last week, he did a post media scrum, which is something SmackDown don't normally do. But the Rock in that media scrum said, for whatever reason, I don't know if he doesn't intend on wrestling for a long time or ever again, but he said that basically it doesn't have to end in a wrestling match between him and Cody Rhodes. Just implying the fact that there's other ways to take the story where they can still feud, but doesn't have to get physical. This would be a way to do it if you do, Cena and Rock with the handshake and the corporate Cena type situation. I don't know, but that would be one scenario you could take it that maybe Rock was alluding to. I still think at some point, I still want to see Rock versus Roman. That was the match they wanted to do last year, didn't do. I don't know if we're going to get it anytime soon. Maybe next year. I don't think it's going to be this year. Not saying it won't happen, but I just don't know how they're going to write it in right now. But I don't know how that would tie to everything in a year's time either. But I don't know. I mean, I would be totally intrigued by this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this maybe shakes out. But I fully expect that Cody Rhodes will not be, selling his soul to Rock this Saturday at Elimination Chamber. I don't see that happening at all. We'll get a little more legs out of it, if nothing else. So, final thoughts on Elimination Chamber?
Card looks good, so we'll just see how it shakes out.
Yeah. Mike said that Cena turning heel would be like when Hogan finally turned heel. Out of nowhere, the superhero becomes the ultimate villain. Yeah. I mean, it would definitely be something that would go down, if done properly and executed well, would definitely go down in the history books as one of the more shocking moments. Although a lot of fans may be kind of starting to see that could be a possibility now. So they may try to change it up a little bit to where it's not as predictable. But I don't know. I mean, I would definitely be kind of stunned until Mike mentioned it. I didn't even think of it. So part of me is like, I kind of wish you didn't. That way it would have surprised me more. But at the same time, I totally get that too. So yeah. Definitely an interesting scenario for me. So yeah. Any other wrestling thoughts?
Nope.
Good.
Nope.
Oh, we're good. Ready to roll? All right, cool. Well, if I guess with that being said, we'll move on to our movies topic this week, and we'll get into that. So here we go. All right, Matt, you're up, buddy, because we got a trailer reaction I want to talk about in regards to Star Wars, and we're going to have a little discussion about Star Wars here for a second. Now, the biggest problem I feel with Star Wars as of late, it just doesn't feel like Star Wars, and this trailer I think is going to epitomize a little bit of that. But let's watch the trailer for Andor Season 2 that is going to be coming to Disney Plus here in about, 2 months time or so. They got a new trailer for it out, so we'll watch it, let you guys know what we think about it. So here we go.
We're in a war. You want to fight? Or you want to win? Last night I dreamed that the world had turned. All our hopes had come to be. The revolution starts now.
What a swell party this is.
Remember this moment. You're here, you're right here, and you're ready to fight.
Slick Andor there. So April 22nd on Disney Plus. So quick thoughts, Matt. What did you think about this trailer? Does it feel like Star Wars to you or no?
Okay. I have a few things that I would like to say about this trailer.
Uh-huh.
For one, it does seem like Star Wars for me.
Okay.
This probably has been the most like Star Wars trailer that Disney has come out recently.
Recently.
As
Yes.
of recently.
Okay.
And I have to say this, I love the first original Andor series. I recommend anyone to watch it who has not seen it. It is incredible. I'm not going to spoil it for all the viewers that hasn't seen it.
It's one of the better TV series they've done
Yes,
in recent memory.
it is.
Outside of
And-
Mandalorian.
And as far as it goes, I really love the fact that Star Wars is kind of showing you the spy, dark, crappy side that the rebels had to deal with.
And the dark
like,
side too, yeah.
I like that they're showing that because that's kind of a big plot hole that Star Wars has kind of left behind. And I'm glad that Disney is starting to go back in that direction. I know we had a couple months ago where we were just absolutely criticizing Disney for the direction it was going in with Star
I'm still
Wars.
going to do a little bit of that here in a minute, but yeah.
That's fine. You can.
Yeah.
You can. That's fine. But before you do that, I just want to say this. I really like that Disney is showing, the Empire abolished the Republic, not the Republic, but the old, what was like a congressional side of the Republic.
Yeah, the old Republic. Yeah.
The old Senate. They showed the Senate. I love that they're showing you this is how the Senate fell apart.
Right.
The one of Natalie.
Well, it's already fallen apart by the time we get to Andor. It's gone.
Natalie Portman's famous lines from one of the first ones is, "This is how liberty dies."
Yeah, thunderous applause.
She says it in the Revenge. I think it was Revenge of the Sith. Anyways,
It was.
This kind of shows you how this happens, and Andor shows you that kind of the do whatever it takes. What you're a spy, you're on your own style of
The beginnings of the rebellion after Rebels, or about the same time as Rebels took place.
In Rebels, am I mistaken, Eric, that they state that they're a cell?
Yeah, and this is kind of another cell. Yeah.
They're showing you all the cells, and I really like that they're doing that.
Now
Because
Oh,
it shows you that it's not just Luke, Han, and Leia and Chewbacca.
oh, right.
There's a bigger picture than that.
And that is something Star Wars needs to do, is kind of dive into more of the bigger picture of their universe too.
Yes.
But to me, the biggest problem with Star Wars as of late, as I mentioned, it doesn't feel like Star Wars as of late. And this trailer to me is a bit of a perfect example. Outside of the fact it does look like Star Wars, and this trailer does. But that music choice for this trailer does not fit Star Wars. It's not. It's not Star Wars at all. It makes it feel like anything but Star Wars, actually. And many of the recent TV series have that same issue, especially Skeleton Crew, which kind of felt more like Guardians of the Galaxy meets the Goonies in space. It meets the Pirates of the Caribbean. That's what it felt like, not Star Wars. But outside, I mean, there's been some good, there's been some bad and things like that. But on top of the Andor stuff, which obviously we now obviously have the episode release dates for this series. There's 12 episodes in the second season, and every 3 episodes is basically 3 episodes tells a year in the timeline. So the series, the second season starts a year before 4 years before Rogue One, a Star Wars story of the film. So the first 3 episodes is the 4th year. 4, 5, and 6 are the 3rd year. 7 through 9 are the 2nd year, and episodes 10 through 12 are the 1 year before we get to Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So every 3 episodes is a new year in the series. So that's kind of cool how they're going to be jumping a year at a time, but you're going to get the whole year in 3 episode sets. So that's cool.
There's another mistake that I really hope they do not fuck this up.
What's that?
Because there's a chance that they do this.
Okay.
Do not screw with the timeline of the Death Star.
No, I don't think they're going to do that. I think you're
Don't
good.
do it.
Like, how do you mean? Like, they've been building it this entire time.
Okay, let me put it this way. I don't even like that was in the trailer.
Well, they're just showing you. That's probably like the last 3 episodes.
But
Most likely.
Eric,
Yeah.
we know who Krennic is.
Yeah.
We know who these people are.
No,
We
you know,
who are.
not everybody
Fine.
else knows.
Yeah, if you've seen Rogue One, you know who we're talking
I have
about.
never seen Rogue One all the way through. I think
It's actually one of the better Star Wars
Brandon-
films in Disney era.
You should.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't
Watch
seen
it.
it.
It's a war film. It literally is a war film.
First of all, if you don't see the last 15 minutes of Rogue One, then don't talk to me about Rogue One. And
It is one of the better sequences of the entire franchise, for sure.
I'm just telling you. And you know what? The reason why, and that's an example, Eric.
Uh-huh.
Get back to that.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Rogue One was probably the last time, movie-wise, that the series was really good in theaters. Ever since, every other film they've released has kind of faltered.
Just crap.
Yeah, and the TV series have been up and down, but yeah, and Andor carries on the legacy of Rogue One very well. It's that very dark and gritty thing, as Matt mentioned earlier. So in that regard, they've done a great job. And I hope the second season, the final season, because like I said, it ties into Rogue One, the movie. So this will be the last time we see this character on screen in this timeline for sure. But yeah, so I'm interested to see where they take it. But on top of the news and the trailer for the new season coming out in about a couple months' time, this week also sparked a lot of speculation, as Star Wars fans earlier this week got very excited, only to be disappointed in the end once again. It was reported that President of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, would be stepping down by the end of 2025, and a new successor would be named to take over the brand headed up by Disney. So, however, Kathleen Kennedy is like space herpes, and she just won't go away.
Yes.
If she did, who would put a chick in Star Wars and Indiana Jones and make it lame and gay, as South Park once put it? That's
Yeah.
basically the thing here that fans are so sick of Kathleen Kennedy for. They think she's destroyed Star Wars, made it a dead brand, because she's wokeified it basically in a lot of aspects,
She really has.
and put the agenda ahead of the actual content. Now, credit where credit is due here. Kathleen Kennedy has been involved with The Mandalorian, Rogue One, Andor, and Star Wars Rebels, some of the greatest Star Wars content out there. She's also one of the best producers in Hollywood history, producing such classics as Jurassic Park, E.T., Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Gremlins, The Goonies, and
She
much
did
more.
good movies.
Very great producer. No
Yeah.
doubt about it. All-time great producer. But as a president of a major studio, she's also been involved in the worst, woke, agenda-driven, creativity-lacking Star Wars content the franchise has to offer.
Yeah.
Namely, the sequel trilogy, The Acolyte, Solo: A Star Wars Story, The Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which disappointed lots of fans.
Oh,
And-
okay. I understand your wokeism with the other movies. Why is Solo woke?
Did you not see the droid who was talking about droid rights and things like that, the whole film? That was part of it.
Okay, I get it. Never mind. Okay,
Yeah.
continue. Proceed.
Yeah, anyway. It was a
Okay.
smaller part, but it was a thing.
I get
I
it.
didn't actually hate Solo
Yeah.
or Obi-Wan.
I
I think
get
the Obi-Wan Patterson cut online is far better, where it's cut into a film, is where it cuts out all the fat from the series, is
I-
far better. But The Acolyte especially, and The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, and even some would say Mandalorian Season 3 and The Book of Boba Fett are definitely no good.
The Kenobi series is, I'm
Like I said, hit and
not
miss.
great.
At the best. But anyway, the rumors that came along, well, I'm sorry. Apparently she has no plans on retiring, according to reports that came out after this rumor hit the internet, despite what reports were saying earlier in the week. However, during the time, replacement candidate rumors swirled all week following the report, suggesting that Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige on the left here may replace her, himself being a huge Star Wars fan and maybe looking to step down from Marvel Studios. Or that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, the two guys on the right here, the creative forces behind The Mandalorian and many other series in the universe like the Clone Wars and Rebels, could possibly step up and take her position as well. But alas, a couple of days later after this report initially came out, as with every other time these rumors have come up, Kathleen Kennedy, who is now 72 years old, has now come out and stated she's, quote, not retiring, and she'll be making movies until she dies. And while she's had conversations about her eventual successor with Disney, when that time comes, she'll remain on to help the next person succeed. So now that doesn't necessarily mean she isn't stepping down, because she did admit they were having discussions about whether or not she's going to be, or what the succession plan could be. So that could mean the reports are true and she just didn't want it announced yet. But even if the reports are true of her stepping down, I don't know how much, if anything, will actually change content or creative wise, because it sounds as if she'll be choosing her own successor and then they would be continuing the work that she has already put in motion. It's like if you don't just completely upend the thing and start putting in a new head coach, you just kind of doing something that like your old coordinator would like to do, nothing's going to change on the team. You know what I mean? It's just going to be the same old, and she's going to stick around and help them learn and do the things that she wants them to do.
I killed
That
Solo.
worries me. Yeah, well, a lot of people think that. But so what do you guys think? I know Brandon and Brandon may not be big Star Wars fans or anything, but what do you think Star Wars could do to get back to relevancy? Because like I said, to many people, Star Wars is a dead brand. The largest globally known IP has officially been reduced to irrelevancy. So what can bring them back to the island of relevancy, as Paul Heyman would put it, to make a comeback to what they once were? Anything at all?
Go back to what made the movies good.
Yeah.
Get back to that. Get back to what it was originally about. I think there's so many side stories that they just get lost and then they get combined into this new age thing. And it's like, yeah, that's not why I watch Star Wars. You know what I mean? That's not. So get back to what Star Wars was about. Sweet labors and Sweet
Lightsaber-
lightsabers and
Yeah,
fucking,
the actual wars in Star Wars, not
Yeah.
kids getting lost in space looking for a way home. I mean, don't get me wrong. Well, it wasn't terrible. It's not Star Wars. Star Wars. What the good, the Sith and the Jedi, the dark side of the light.
Killing.
Yeah, well, but I mean, they just tried so hard that you gotta have Rey, you gotta have what was her name, Reva and Obi-Wan. You gotta have all these female characters. Again, nothing wrong with female characters. Hell, Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia has been there since the beginning of the franchise. But when you're trying to shove it in everybody's face and try to push an agenda, that's the problem. Or like in Tales of the Empire, they decided to make one of the characters, I think, what was it, non-binary. So it's like you're trying to do stuff like that again, it's just indicative of Disney over the last few years, which hopefully that means we're going to be getting a change at some point. I know Marvel Studios is talking about that. Hopefully Star Wars will follow that same suit. But you can't keep doing that. I mean, stay, like as Solaris said in the chat, stay out of real world politics when you're making entertainment. Simple as that. That's how you bring Star Wars back to relevancy. And not only that, don't crap on all the legacy characters like you did to Luke, Han, and Leia in the sequel trilogy. You basically made that trilogy to kill all three, and you never got to see all three together again at the same time for that nostalgia factor. Never once got it. My hope is maybe Dave Filoni will be smart enough to bring them all back via CGI, which is not going to be the same, and the Thrawn movie he's maybe producing. So I think that'll be great if he actually decides to do that and actually kind of adheres to the novel a little bit from those old trilogy books. But I don't know. But yeah, there's obviously we want to see new characters, but you don't have to. It's okay to have male strong characters too. You don't need a woman like in Indiana Jones, that she obviously knows better than Indiana Jones. She's going to punch him out at the end of the movie, take it back against Indiana Jones's wishes. So I mean, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you crap on the old characters that the fans love and cherish ever since they were young. So you do that, maybe.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't crap on, like I said with the Death Star. Don't crap on classical ideas.
Well, just come up with better ideas too. Don't just rehash. Like The Force Awakens was a rehash of A New Hope, essentially.
It's the same movie.
Pretty much. Just the Death Star was bigger. It was a planet. I mean, it was basically the same thing.
Yes. Let's put a giant hole in Ilum and have it shoot across the galaxy.
Well,
impressive.
Well, like in the movie, even Harrison Ford goes, "What? It's big." Talking about the planet. Like it's like even he knew it was like a rip on it.
Harrison Ford and Chewbacca were the best part of that movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They were. My favorite line in that movie is when he just grabs Finn and is like, "That's not how the Force works." Like he's been through all this shit. He would know.
Yeah, his acting was on point too. He was actually putting an effort in there too. And I have no problem with the Rey character. By the way, there's talk about doing a Rey movie.
Don't make Luke Skywalker a legend.
Make the writing better. Make the script better. Maybe set it multiple. I know it's supposed to be like the next Rey movie is maybe going to be 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. That's fine, but it needs to set apart from those films that just were not very successful in the fans' eyes. They made lots of money.
Rey was terrifying as a Sith.
Yeah,
I would take that avenue.
I think that ship has probably sailed. But then again, she is a Palpatine, so
she's a Palpatine.
Who knows?
Make her a Sith.
But if you're going to do that, you should have done that already.
Yeah,
I think at this point, by turning around and doing it now, it's kind of like, well, okay, now you're just doing it.
I think if you want to get back what Star Wars was, make it what it was. Make it what people enjoyed about it to begin with.
Yeah. Well, not only that, like I said, you can have new characters and do new things as well, but don't alienate the old. Like I said, you could still do stories with Boba Fett. You could still do stories with like characters from the prequel series and stuff that you can kind of go back in the timeline and tell stories that we've never seen before. You don't have to like get rid of everything that's already been done before. I know a lot of people want to get away from the Skywalker saga, which I get, but you can still play with some of the characters that we don't know a great deal about. You can go back and tell like the Darth Plagueis stuff and how Palpatine was trained and all this stuff. You could go back and do like the Rule of Two. And
I was hoping that would have been what the Acolyte was.
Well, yeah, they kind of maybe was leading to that, maybe with the post-credit stuff or whatever they were doing there, but whether or not we'll ever get that is another question. But, things like that you can still do and do it properly, but you just got to stop with the agenda. Just please. If you do that, I think most fans will at least forgive you for some of the downfalls. I mean, we forgave you for the prequels. So, and I think and now I look back on them after all these years, I actually enjoy them. But the sequels, I'm not sure I'm going to feel that way in 20 years.
Prequels
so we'll see.
ass, bro.
prequels actually like because well, not with that. Did you ever watch this Clone Wars animated series?
I no.
No, it really did a good job of fleshing out those 3 movies to make them better.
It's
in my
like all I
opinion.
watch.
Yeah. So that in that regard, it made those. Maybe that's why I appreciate them more. But yeah, I see how some fans didn't like them too. But I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on Star Wars right now. Hopefully, Kathleen Kennedy will be stepping down at some point. But we've heard this before, over and over and over again, and it just never seems to happen. And you know, and I don't care if she wants to stick around and produce. Again, no problem with that. She's one of the greatest producers in the world, and she's made great movies. So maybe she can continue to do that for sure. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Mike said in the chat, it is a miracle every kid, including the teenager, is asleep. So enjoy the solace, my friend, as much as you can.
Congratulations, Mike.
Now he's gonna do it himself now.
He said, with the wife away at a conference, I'm free to lay in bed like God intended me to. Oh, God. Butt naked
Okay.
and watching the direct.
Nah.
Well done.
Thank God you don't have a web. Well, don't turn on the webcam. I'm not allowing you in
Dead
here.
ass wrong for that.
It's no. Whoa. My mind's eye. Oh, no.
Yeah, and now I'm just
See, you made
picturing
Matt
Digger,
disappear.
Like laying there, it's like a bunch of roses petals on the bed, and like Digger's just laying there.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Man. I don't know where to take. I was going to transition, but yeah.
it sounds like he about to.
Man. Mike, you broke us. You broke us.
Ugh. Move on, man. Pick something.
Oh,
else to
okay.
talk about.
All right. The next movie topic. The next,
Minecraft.
no, not mine. We'll get to Minecraft here in just a minute. We got DC and Marvel to go first.
All right,
We got a bunch of updates when it comes to those 2 franchises, especially when it comes to the world of DC. We've got a bit of a plan and where we're going now. Now, for the world of DC, first and foremost, it has been now confirmed by James Gunn. Robert Pattinson's Batman will not be a part of the DCU, and introducing a new fantastical Batman is imperative to the overall DCU moving forward, according to James Gunn and Peter Safran, the heads of DC Studios. So, we now know the darker, grittier Robert Pattinson Batman is officially going to be standing on its own, and it will not be joining David Gordon Sweat's Superman in the Justice League. So, right there, what are your thoughts on that one? I know we discussed that a little bit in the past.
Anybody but Ben Affleck.
I'm fine with that.
I don't know, man. I think shit. What was his name? Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I think his Batman kind of ruined other Batmans. Now I haven't seen
Just because he was so good.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
Another one you
I
should
haven't
watch.
seen
It's a good one.
Robert Pattinson's version.
Robert
of
Pattinson's
Batman.
pretty good.
But I think Christian Bale's version of Batman, everybody gave him shit for the voice, but I mean, it is what it is. The guys that
Every Batman's done their voice thing a little bit,
but it's like, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's always smart to cover your voice.
you're literally one of the most famous men in Gotham. It's no wonder nobody could tell you apart. Like they heard you talk, like, wait a minute, you sound awful like Bruce Wayne.
At least in the Ben Affleck version, they tried to make a little sense of that, kind of make it a voice modulator.
Yeah, voice mode.
So
So
it
that
wasn't
made
him.
it sound dumb.
Yeah, that's true too. Especially when it got broken.
Yeah, it was like,
Uh,
all right, this is trash.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah. So
But no, so maybe this is their opportunity to introduce their own version of a more. I would love to see a more, I guess, Batman like from the old TV show Batman. Not the TV show, the
60s.
the animated series of Batman, where he's more of a detective, but he got hands. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but he'd also face, villains like Clayface or Man Bat or more
Yeah.
fantastical that were not grounded. So that's what I want.
See, that's what I think that Robert Pattinson's Batman did better, was show you the detective side of it.
Well, that is true. That if you're looking for that, Brandon, that is the Batman movie for you. It was
Okay.
more on the detective side of things. Even though,
Because, like-
I did feel like there was a part where even the simplest private eye could have figured this out. But anyway,
But I mean, essentially, that's what he is. Batman was a detective before he was not
Right.
literally a detective, but it was more like year one Batman wasn't what you get now. You know what I mean? Like year
Yeah.
one Batman was this dude trying to figure it all out, and he
Mhm.
wasn't what Batman. You know, what I
And
mean?
that's kind of what Pattinson does a little bit too, because his Batman
Yeah.
is a year 2 Batman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he's still very early on in his career. Even most of the police officers don't trust him.
No.
Gordon does, obviously, but yeah, in that regard, I thought the Batman did a
No.
very good job. But in regards to news on the Batman, though, we did have some updates on the Batman. Obviously, Pattinson is certainly not the plan for the DC universe, so they said he was not going to be involved. Now that could always change. I'm not saying it won't happen, but for right now, they're saying it's not in the plans. The Batman 2 script is not done, but James Gunn and Safran have read encouraging things. This movie has been in development for years. What is taking Matt Reeves so freaking long? I know it takes forever, but it should not take you 5+ years to get a sequel. It shouldn't at this point. So hopefully we'll get it in 2027 as it's currently planned, and it doesn't get delayed again. Like I said, introducing a new Batman is imperative. Batman the Brave and the Bold has a writer attached, and Andy Muschietti may direct. He directed the Flash film, which in my opinion wasn't that great, and I think a lot of people now the Batman stuff that he did with Michael Keaton in that movie was good. So if that's the case, I have some faith there. They said they're going to wait till a script is done, then they're going and Andy Muschietti will see it first, and then we'll decide whether or not he will direct the film. So that even almost sounds like he's not the director, and they're just kind of waiting for the right time to say it. So if that's the case, I'm fine with that. But they did say a Batman movie will release in October of 2027, one way or another, whether it's the DCU Batman or Pattinson's Batman, one way or the other. So hopefully that's will at least happen. So that's good to see. We also got some updates on some other projects. Speaking of Batman, the Clayface movie, however, will be a part of the DCU, not a part of the Pattinson Batman universe. And it will bring an R-rated body horror film. So this sounds creepy, but it's, again, Clayface, makes more sense for a fantastical DCU than it does the Pattinson grounded version. So it makes sense to do that. So this will be an origin story for the Clayface in that universe, outside of the little bit we got in Creature Commandos already. But it'll be voiced and played by a different actor. So thoughts on that one? Matt doesn't look too thrilled.
R-rated body horror.
Because it tells me.
Well,
it tells me about the Penguin, and it just pisses me off.
Well, the Penguin's more grounded. It makes more sense for the Penguin. Depending on how you do Penguin, the way they did Penguin with Colin Farrell was more grounded. You could do Penguin like Danny DeVito, where he's more actually like a penguin. That's more fantastical. So you can do
like
both.
that one, though.
I did too. I didn't mind it, but yeah,
when he took that fish and he just bit it, I was like,
yeah,
that's
raw, yeah, nasty,
gross.
yeah. It's like Gollum. It's fresh and smooth, But anyway.
But his death scene was the saddest
Don't
shit
ever
ever.
do that again.
Oh yeah, that was a good impression. Sorry.
I legit felt bad for him when he died. I was like, damn, Penguin
Yeah.
went out soft.
Don't worry, Slar and Mike. We'll get to your other chats here in a minute too. But Mike did say, could say this is DC related. I want to say thank you, Gene Hackman, for being, in my opinion, the best Lex Luthor. We're going to mention him in just a minute, so hang tight there. But yeah, absolutely, rest in peace, Gene
Oh
Hackman,
yeah, he did play Lex.
the original Lex Luthor in the
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve Superman films. So yeah, all 4, or at least 3 of them. I don't think he was in the 3rd, maybe, but he was in 1, 2, and 4 for certain. So yeah, but rest in peace, Gene. We'll talk about him in just a second. But awesome. But yeah, you said R-rated
I
body
heard
horror.
he had an island too.
Yeah, that's some thoughts going around. I'm not so sure if he was involved or not, but you might be right. I have no idea, but it was kind of interesting. All that news was coming out the same day, and all of a sudden, it's definitely suspicious. But Brandon mentioned
Conspiracy theories haven't been wrong yet, so
Well, it doesn't seem like it. You're right. That's for dang sure. But Brandon did mention R-rated body horror though for Clayface. Yeah, it's kind of, again, with it changing your body in sick and twisted ways. The metamorphosis of it all.
Yeah. Okay,
So it's
now I
probably going to be more scary related. So it's coming out right before Halloween. So
what the fuck is a body horror? But yeah, it's Clayface. I get it. Yeah, okay, never mind.
And like I said, it comes out like a month before Halloween, so it makes sense in 2026. Mike said he was in 1, 2, and 4. Yeah, so Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we also got some more reports on some upcoming projects that DC is doing, including Crypto Shorts. Obviously, the dog from the Superman trailer is going to be getting his own set of short films. 4 in total. They will be seasonally themed, seasonally released, and they quote it as the same terrible dog because obviously he's a good boy, but at the same time got some bad tendencies. He doesn't want to listen to instruction and things like that. He's a little bit out of control. So that's kind of the character. But looks like if it's seasonally themed, maybe it's like holiday themed, Christmas, or I don't know, maybe St. Patrick's Day. There's things you can do with it.
Christmas, but it's a dog.
I guess something like that. So I don't know if it looks as cute and fun as he did in the trailers. I'm down for it. So I don't know if we'll be getting these before Superman this year. Probably not, since it comes out in July. Maybe we get one, and then maybe we get a few more after the fact. I don't know. Maybe that's the case, or maybe they all come after the movie. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, it's now been officially confirmed by James Gunn that the Teen Titans film is in development, with the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow writers penning the script. So this will be live action, and we are going to be getting this team up crew in their own theatrical film moving forward. So will not be an animated thing. It'll be
make it stupid.
Well, I agree with that. Don't make it Teen Titans Go. Don't do that. Make it more Teen Titans. So I'm down with that. We also got, speaking of animated, though, we got 3 animated series announced. The first one is My Adventures with Green Lantern. The series will follow Jessica Cruz, who has her life upended when a Green Lantern power ring falls from the sky. Do you know much about Jessica Cruz, Brandon, in the Green Lantern in the lore? Okay, so this is going to even be new for you. Now, some of these 3 animated things, I kind of wonder how much they're going to actually tie into the overall DCU larger story. These could kind of be more just kind of like Harley Quinn, or there's actually a series out right now on HBO Max or Max called My Adventures with Superman. So I don't know if it's kind of tied in there with that as well. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But at least this will be a different Green Lantern that the series and the films probably will not be tackling. So it'll be something new, a little bit different side of the lore there. So that'll be something new for everybody. We're also getting a Starfire original animated series for one of the aforementioned Teen Titans we talked about. Starfire will serve as an origin story for the Teen Titan as she escapes her home planet of Tamaran in an spaceship to explore the stars for adventure. So this sounds like it very well could tie in to Titans film, introducing the character to the mythology. So that could be great. And the one I think is going to be less, integral to the big overall DC.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I lost Eric.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I think we lost Eric.
Everybody still there? Everybody still there?
Yeah.
Well,
Did you see me? Okay, I jumped
Yeah.
that out. All right, well, powers will take place at Alliance School for Heroes, where Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra level up their powers under the supervision of Principal Marsh.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? If you can hear me,
I don't know who the hell Plastic Man is, but that's interesting.
Plastic Man, he's
Jesus, dude.
nearly as smart.
I didn't hear a word you just said.
Eric, freeze it up.
He looks like he got a
well,
poop.
this is awkward.
His face looks like he got poop.
Oh, superpowers.
Either that or he farted.
Little bit,
and then he
guys.
smells it.
Huh? What?
Oh,
Nothing.
he's back.
Nothing.
Am I back? I don't know. It's jump.
This jumped pretty bad.
Okay, everyone again.
Tell you what, I'll do this, and if talk amongst yourselves until I can come back, we
Yeah.
have to kill a little time here. It's
No,
just my internet.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what some of these DC movies go. Like, I want DC at some point to catch up to where Marvel is.
Yeah.
One of my greatest accomplishments, being the nerd that I am, was getting my wife actually involved in these movies. And Marvel was a good start. And now I would love for her to get into at least some of the DC characters the way I am, like, as far as especially the Green Lantern series. Like, I don't know why I attach myself to that character so much, or though I can't say it's a character because it's more than just a character. But the whole Lantern stories, and I don't know. I would like to see DC get to where Marvel is, in the sense of bringing the whole Justice League and introducing a lot of the characters in there that aren't mainstream. Because when you think of DC, you think of what, 3 characters: Batman, Superman, and Flash, simply because, well, I guess Green Arrow, because he was probably the one with the longest running show.
Yeah, Green Arrow went for a long time.
Yeah, but that's weird. Matt disappeared and you showed up. That's crazy.
Hello?
Yeah. It's gonna be rough, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
But yeah, anyway, that's my hope for DC. I want DC to be able to be on the same level as Marvel at some point, and just for comic book movies to really kind of, you know, bring back a lot of nostalgia for us older people, but then bring the younger generation to see some that, you know, that they didn't get to experience, really, especially with some of the key characters in DC, and Lantern being one of those key characters. And like, I'm fortunate because my kids grew up, you know, watched the cartoons and stuff that I watched. So Jaden got to see the original Teen Titans before Teen Titans Go, and then I also was able to show that to Jackson, you know, and they got to see the Teen Titans as I saw the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
That's an Eric is still froze.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, as far as, you know, Teen Titans go, I mean, as a kid, I got to watch the series. And the series was really good. The cartoon series, I always found it to be kind of, you know, based on your audience, geared more towards kids.
But Go? Teen Titans Go?
Teen Titans Go, right? Not the movie. Yeah.
No, Teen Titans Go was definitely geared towards kids in a weird way. Like, the characters irrelevant. Like, the things that stood out the most about, I guess, the Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go, like Robin was put in a situation where he was supposed to lead a group of teens after being Batman's apprentice, and like you saw the ups and downs of that. Like, you saw the Starfire sees an alien from another planet, you know, trying to live as a normal person on this planet, but still what's going on in her planet. And then with Raven dealing with like being the daughter of a all-powerful fucking demon, and she has to navigate through life with that, with that being in the back door. And
Raven's character was very interesting. I'm going to be interested to see how she's integrated into this real life.
Yeah,
because I it would be very interested if the first Teen Titans is geared around Raven. That would be very interesting. Because that's a character that, you know, hasn't really gotten its due as far as the DC goes.
No, Raven is a very complex character, but it depends on how they do it.
It's like for me, this is a Marvel segue I can bring it into. It's like MCU bringing Vulture into this equation.
Well, Vulture's not that hard though. Vulture's because Vulture's,
but they went about it.
Yeah, but then they didn't do anything with it yet. I mean, we still could get the Sinister Six, which still would be dope. I mean, you have all the characters there. He's fought all of them through the movie. I mean, you got Vulture, you got Vulture, Rhino,
Octavius.
Dr. Octavius, Electro, right? Yeah, that's his name.
He hasn't, but he right now he's got him to where he's good.
Yeah, but you don't have. There's still like there's no Negative Man. I mean, I guess if you could substitute Mysterion for Negative Man,
Negative
still
missing.
Man
hasn't come along yet.
Yeah, you could still do it. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Negative Man on the big screen. He looked great in the game.
He was amazing in the game.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And as far as DC goes, Brandon, I think you would agree with me. I think DC is going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I think that they're, you know, I really think that, and you're going to agree with me, I think the turning point for DC was Aquaman. The original.
The first Aquaman movie? I didn't see the second one, but the first one. But see, that was weird because it was like, when we went and saw Aquaman, it reminded me, I think I even said it. I was like, it's like Wakanda, but underwater.
Testing?
Because that's what it looks like.
I think I'm here.
Okay, I hear you.
Hey. We dropped all sorts of viewers during that, though.
That's okay.
Oh, well.
It says we got 76.
It says I always see 5, so maybe you're right.
Yeah, we got 76.
Whatever.
It said, like I said, like I seen Aquaman was good. I think Wonder Woman also played a factor into that. Wonder Woman was really good too. But Aquaman, you're right. Aquaman kind of put it on the map. And like I said, and when we watched that movie, I was like, it's like Wakanda, but underwater. Like that's what it reminded me of. But it was still a good movie. I think Jason Momoa carried it.
And that's another one was Black Panther. I really think what really brought the MCU home was the Black Panther movies.
Nope. Don't get me wrong, it was a great movie, but I think what sold everybody on the whole Marvel thing.
Apart from Thanos,
Thor,
really?
Captain America.
Captain America,
the first Thor movie.
Yeah. I mean, it was great, but I mean, I think Captain America 1 was better.
Yeah, of course you do, but
And then Avengers came in, and I mean, obviously Iron Man was better than all of them, probably.
Yeah,
But.
Thor wasn't for you though. Thor wasn't for us as a crowd. It was for a specific crowd. That's why he had his shirt off for 3 seconds.
For 3 seconds, so you say
Yeah,
3
it
seconds?
didn't take that long.
That's all it took.
That shirt was off, and like they was like, "Oh shit, who's that? That's Thor." Like, all right.
Oh my! Yeah, anyway, was you answering
Look at you
Brandon's?
talking about 3 seconds.
I love it. Yeah. Slaughter the Assassin welcomes Aaron into the chat. Says, Aaron, I love the nickname, the
Well, I
Faceless
didn't see
Dragon.
it.
The Faceless Dragon.
That's
So yeah, gotta love that too. Did you respond? Was you responding to Mike's Green Lantern question about what
No, I
drew you
didn't
to
see
him
it.
and what drew you to Green Lantern as your favorite superhero? I think you kind of answered it a little bit, as far as I can tell.
It's not just the
He's
lantern,
black.
like the green. No, because the first one was Guy
Yeah,
Gardner,
he's
right?
white. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, but the
I
coolest one.
think it's. Don't get me wrong. You're not wrong. Jon Stewart was the coolest one, but honestly, it's the way the rings work and the whole story behind it.
Break, dude.
Is why I liked it. And it's what got me into it. I think hearing the different Lantern Corps, their different edicts or oaths, whatever you want to call them, and how they operate and like how the powers are transferred from one to another. I think that's what got me into the Lantern Corps as a whole. And I think why I'm so attached to it, I think it's just because of the way the power system works there with the emotional spectrum and everything else. And I thought it was a really cool concept for heroes.
Right on. We'll still fight the internet here, but we're trying our best with these technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Mike said, I showed my wife the first Deadpool years ago. She still hasn't forgiven me.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great
The
movie.
first Deadpool movie was in. I just watched Deadpool and Wolverine the other day, putting together Anaya's computer chair, and in the living room, I was laughing my ass off watching. Like I was like, "Yo, this movie's hilarious."
He was
Like,
laughing his fucking ass off.
I said,
Are you
"This is
okay?
hilarious, brother."
As he should. It was a great movie for sure.
Because it was like, stuff I couldn't hear when we went and saw it in the theater or whatever. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
watching it at the house, now I can hear everything. Bro, I was in there cracking up. There was jokes that like I heard, but it didn't really register like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes
That
even on
whole-
the second or third watch, you catch him more,
That whole scene of him getting suited up, like that whole scene, that's like fucking
And then it ended with a little squeak when he finally got his butt squeezed again. It was hilarious. He's like, he may be a predator, but
yeah, but awesome.
I think
Yeah.
Mike's wife is a square.
Oh,
it's
that's
hip to be a square though.
that's
According to
messed up.
Sesame Street. Damn.
It's hip to be a square.
Every time I
Yeah.
hear that song pops in my head, and I don't know if anybody else remembers that song, but it was I don't think I watched the whole thing. I think it was literally they were talking about shapes on Sesame Street, and there was a song, and the dude just said it was hip to be a square, and they did this whole "It's hip to be a square" rendition. It was that's why I think of it. Every time somebody says something about a square, I'm like, it's hip to be a square. Like, I don't know. That shit pops in my head.
That's funny.
Right on.
That shit was
Well,
from
let's-
years ago.
Now that I've got internet back, let's try to finish this segment here before I lose
get there.
internet again. But yeah, when it comes to other DC projects, like I said, we had a bunch of updates here. We now know that Waller is one of the 4 projects that have been previously announced that have been now put on the back burner for the time being. The Peacemaker spinoff starring Amanda Waller still has not cracked the script yet, so it's unfortunately, it won't be coming out anytime soon. Also, The Authority also has script issues, but the rumor is this project, which was supposed to spin off from the upcoming Superman film, may be turned into an animated feature down the line, so keep an eye out for that. Also, Swamp Thing and Booster Gold. Booster Gold, a showrunner, almost joined the production, but apparently lost interest, according to James Gunn, so that's been kind of put on the back burner there for sure. And Swamp Thing, which I'm having a little bit of trouble scrolling for some stupid reason. Okay.
It was on the screen.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't really moving where I wanted it to. Let me try to rebuff this. But yeah, Swamp Thing has also been put. Oh, I think I know why.
Okay.
Maybe.
I disappeared again.
Yeah, well, you always disappear. Oh, I see. My bad. Sorry. But Swamp Thing, apparently the writer and director went off to make another little movie. But the good thing about Swamp Thing is it does not tie into the overall larger story that DC is telling. So the director can come back after he's done with his other film and kind of make this movie and kind of can get slotted in no matter where they want to. So it'll actually fit in, even though it's not tying into the overall storyline. So it's kind of a one-off thing. So it actually worked pretty well whenever he decides to make it. And of course, so now we have a full plan on what DC plans on doing when it comes to their release schedule year in and year out. It sounds like their plan moving forward, starting in 2026, will be 2 live-action movie features, 1 animated movie feature, 2 live-action series, and I know this says 1 animated series, but their plan is to have 2 animated series on Max. So around 7 projects a year, with about 3 of them, maybe 5, being viewing. The other ones,
Okay.
Wait, isn't that what Marvel tried to do? They found it too taxing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by?
Marvel tried to do
Yeah.
like a large yearly thing like this, and they found it too hard to keep up with.
Well, see, Marvel was putting out like 10 plus things a year, like 4 films. Both kind of trying to medium.
Damn, I'm having trouble with Wi-Fi.
Yep, he's froze again.
Yeah.
Poor buddy. Anyways, I'm just saying that seems like that's going to be a bit much, and we're probably not going to get as quality of stuff, kind of like Marvel kind of had.
Yeah.
Am I back at all?
Yeah, you're a little bit. We could.
Yeah, you are.
This is starting to get annoying. But yeah, so they're trying to find a happy medium, I think. But anyway, it's just kind of hard to have a good flow of the show when this keeps happening. I really hate it. Is Brandon still there at all, or did he leave? Looks like he left.
I don't know where he went.
He's got his mic off. So I was going to get his thoughts on this. We got a couple first looks at the upcoming DC Lantern show with Kyle Chandler playing Hal Jordan on the right and Aaron Pierre playing John Stewart on the left. And we also got our first shot of our DC Green Lantern rings that Hal Jordan was wearing in this shot as well. So I thought it'd be interesting to get Brandon's thoughts on it. But since he's not here, that's okay.
I think it looks really awesome.
Yeah.
It really does look cool. I'm not a Green Lantern fan, but Brandon's really the real expert on it. But I really think that looks really cool.
Well, I just think it's supposed to kind of play off the dichotomy of you're going to see them when they're in their Green Lantern suits and stuff, full bore. Plus, you're also going to see them when they're not in the Green Lantern suits.
You see those 2 characters right there? That's what you would envision Green Lantern to look like.
Well, yeah, before the powers.
Before their powers, and just like when they're just starting out,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you move on because I don't
Well,
want
I'll ask Brandon whenever he gets situated there a little bit. Trying to stall for time, hoping the internet stays with us because, oh my God.
Yeah. As you said.
Uh-oh. The technical difficulties are real.
Yeah. He'll get it figured out. Brandon, that's the first look at Green Lantern.
Is that Hal Jordan
He
and
wanted your opinion on the Lantern
John
show.
Stewart?
That is John Stewart and Cal Jordan.
Yeah, this is Hal Jordan and John Stewart.
Okay. This is just the only picture.
There was another one that he's going to scroll to, but as soon as his internet freezes, he'll show it to you.
Why does it seem like Hal Jordan is way too, or
Old,
John Stewart is way too young and Hal Stewart is way too old?
because that's how it was.
Is that how it was?
Yeah. By the time Hal Jordan retired, he was old. Not old, but there's also some other shit that he did too that kind of facilitated his retirement in the sense. He wasn't really retired.
So by the time John Stewart became a Lantern, Hal Jordan was old.
Yes, older. He was more like his mentor.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, John Stewart was a young Marine. That's why a lot of his constructs were like military based and shit.
But yeah, that's your first look at them. Like, I mean, as far as like where the storyline.
Did they have a picture of like the suits or anything?
Showed his ring, and his ring looks really cool.
Mm.
Like it looks exactly.
I didn't think it was like how I've seen the rings to be, but that might just be me.
It looks like a ring pop. You know,
What?
It kind of looks like one of those rings you get out of the vending machines outside Walmart.
Mhm. Yes,
I didn't see it. I have to see it.
I agree, Aaron. Concur.
I have to see it.
Well, Eric will be back momentarily, and we will continue on.
He's gonna be
I
upset.
think Eric is.
Yeah,
He's Eric is losing his mind right now.
Yes. Listen,
Probably.
I've seen like again. I can just go back to when he was here trying to help me with the computer, and as irritated as I was, I could also see the irritation on his part because the shit just wasn't working. So like, I get it. Eric doesn't swear a lot and or often, but I promise you right now, with that camera not being on,
He is.
and you can't hear him, oh, I promise you he is.
There's a reason.
He is flipping out right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he likes his stuff to work the way it's supposed to. But it's
we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric wouldn't make it at our house for a day because nothing works like it's supposed to.
Yes,
Nope.
here.
Ever.
Nope.
Ever.
No matter how much you try. Just
You get used to it after a while.
What is your problem? You just came inside, so you don't need
Right.
to go out.
Ah,
Lay down. You'll be fine.
That's his problem.
Lay down.
You want a puppy, Matt?
Yeah, you want a puppy to go with your cat, Matt?
no. Yeah. Jasper came in here right before we started the show and proceeded to use the restroom while I was eating. And it's very pleasant when he does it because I think he does it on purpose. I think he sits there and watches me prepare my food. And then he goes in here and like, okay, I got a good idea. Let's ruin that for you.
we were talking about this with the kids the other night. Cats are cats. They do what they want. They don't care about you.
There's nothing you can do to stop it. No, it is gonna be what's to. Come on, Eric.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment there, Slara. Thank you for the support. We need technical support is what we need right now.
Yeah,
But I appreciate it nonetheless for sure. So I was listening a little bit off on my phone while you guys were going. I wasn't saying a ton of curse words. I was thinking them though.
I know you are.
Put it that way.
Yeah, I think I said I've only seen you upset a couple times, and that weekend you were at my house trying to help me.
He's
I
frozen again.
Yeah, I know. He might not be thinking them now. He might
Oh,
actually be
geez.
fucking. He might be
Yeah.
saying them at this point.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh no.
Here's the thing. It's
Hold on,
like
hold on, hold
it's
on.
literally out of his control because there's nothing he's
Aaron,
doing
Aaron.
wrong.
Okay,
it is
that's
just
my-
his internet is deciding it doesn't want to work tonight. Like and again,
We all
you're
need
not
to
doing
get
anything wrong.
Starlink.
I know we got to figure this out.
Okay. So DC, it looks good.
Yeah.
If you can show the picture of the ring,
He can't do anything right now.
Brandon wanted to see it.
He can't. He's frozen.
I know, but I think he can hear me.
Brandon's gonna
There.
have to Google
Oh.
it.
There you go, Brandon.
Oh, there
It
it
doesn't
is.
look bad. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, you see, it's not. It doesn't look. Aaron is overcritical about everything, so don't listen to what Aaron says. I think it looks cool.
I think I need to see it from another angle and more up close.
I'm waiting for Aaron to unmute.
But comparatively to what the other rings look like, I mean, they all kind of look different to begin with, and I don't know. Does it look like it have the lantern symbol in the middle of it? Sort
It
of.
does. Obviously, it should, Brandon. You can't make that ring without it.
Well, that's kind of what the center of it looks like, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to see a different angle
Eric,
and up close to see what it looks like.
Computer. I can see Eric moving.
Barely.
So I don't know.
Trying to play with my router, see if I can figure something out, but yeah.
Maybe just
No, all right, I get it. I saw it. It doesn't look terrible, but I get the concern. Like I said, I would love to see it from a different angle to see
Yeah.
if it
That's about as
actually looks
that's
like
about the best
symbol.
other angle we have right now is that
Yeah.
shot there. It's just a close up, but
Man,
yeah.
how Jordan looks run down. And I'm
Yeah,
here
he
for it.
does. He really does. And yeah, John Stewart looks good. I mean, I'm not saying Hal Jordan doesn't look good, but yeah, he looks like he's been through it.
Character wise, yes, yeah. No, because again, it's the younger man getting taught by the and who is the guy playing John again?
What?
Who's the guy playing John Stewart?
Kyle Chandler.
Okay, I have
Yeah.
no idea who that is.
Yeah, he's kind of a he's not well known. I mean, he's been in some stuff here and there, but yeah.
Okay.
I hope it turns out good. I mean, I'll watch it.
Oh yeah, we know you'll watch it for certain. There ain't no doubt about that.
What's it gonna be on?
Max.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
Everything DC is on Max.
I might have to figure that out.
Well,
So is AEW. So get on that.
I might have to figure that out.
well,
But what do you get Max through?
Hey,
Because it has its own app, own service. No, actually, I think you can get it
Right.
through Prime.
does the HBO Titans series, is that going to tie into the overall story? Or is that a standalone?
I don't know. I didn't know they had a Titan series.
Yeah, it was a live action kind of origin story type thing.
He's getting pissed now. He's got his arms crossed.
I'm just
Yeah.
more aggravated than anything. I can't do anything about it. It's nothing I can do on my end. It's just the internet.
I know.
Yeah.
We
It's
just try to get through it as we can.
I know, but I'm worried about I'm not going to come back at some point. It keeps bouncing, but it won't stay steady. You know? So it makes me apprehensive about moving on because as soon as I do, it's going to happen again, you know? It's like,
Okay.
But yeah, other than seeing it, when's it supposed to come out?
It comes out then.
this is great television.
Yes.
Caught in mid-sentence.
This is the best show yet.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
Eric, watch,
Caught him
watch your
mid-sentence.
frustration like
Where-
slowly boil into
What's
to that
the
endless frustration level is amazing.
What, Brandon?
what's the show called again?
This?
Yeah.
called something.
Don't worry, I just looked it up.
Okay.
It's called Lanterns.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. What if we like stop the show and start it again?
You think I've not jumped in and out? I've already
Yeah, we've already. That's essentially what's happened a couple of times.
I know.
stream. I don't even.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait it out. We'll get through this. It'll eventually get to where it needs to be. And Eric will find his internet.
All right.
I just hope
It's not till 2026, so okay.
he just
Yeah.
finds.
So-
I hope he finds his happy place.
I quickly Googled it, and from some of the searches I found, it suggests that the Titan series that's on HBO will not be a part of the overall DCEU.
Okay,
Oh, so that's separate from. Okay.
so it sounds
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a standalone,
Okay.
which is fine. I mean, it wasn't that great. I mean, they kind of, at least the backstories that I know of the characters, it kind of took its own creative liberties,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them I wasn't really happy about, but it's whatever.
Okay.
Brandon, what do you? I know this is off topic, but what do you in the Elimination Chamber? What do you think will happen if Logan Paul wins?
Nothing. He'll win. People will boo, and they'll move on.
He'll win, and they'll just go on their merry way, and then it'll just.
Oh, if that works, I'm gonna be PO'd in a good way.
Okay.
I turned on my VPN because I wasn't running it, even though I wasn't running it most shows. And we'll see if this makes it any better because I'm using like a different IP address. I don't know if that's going to matter, but it's worth a shot.
It doesn't matter. You froze up.
Again?
Yep. I just see you looking at the mic.
I don't care as long as you can hear me.
I can hear you. And now I can't hear you. Now I've again.
No, I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but
Okay. We can hear you just fine.
yeah, it's just you can't see me.
Yeah, it's
Like
okay.
I'm John Cena.
No, actually, the face that you froze up in is good. You should just keep it that way for the rest of the show. You should just keep your face like that for the rest of the show. You look like you're staring intently into like the abyss.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When Matt first started that word, I thought he just said titly.
The only thing I know to do is to turn my computer off and try again.
That has nothing to do with it.
Brandon's been around me too much today. He's had too much Matt interaction.
I'm going to try one more thing if you can hear me. I'm going to turn my computer off.
Okay.
Okay, good luck with that.
All right. What's going on in Minecraft that he wants to talk about?
I think it's more or less. I don't know if it's another trailer or not, but
Yeah, I don't know either. I think that movie looks good. I mean, it's a Jack Black movie. I'm not a huge Jack Black fan ever since that whole stage incident. However, I loved Kung Fu Panda. You know, I like some of his movies.
I thought he was fine in the Jumanji movies.
Yeah, I did not watch the.
He was hilarious in the Jumanji movies.
I've not seen the Jumanji movies, so I'm sure it's good. I that's the only movie I know he was good and okay. I shut everything. Okay. Hey, anyways, he's really good in those movies. I really in School of Rock. He was really good. So I
Nacho
think,
Libre was good.
yeah, Nacho Libre. But yeah, I think in the Minecraft movie, I think if it goes off like a
What the fuck was that?
That's right. He goes nacho.
if it was like a comedy and it goes off like as a comedy, it's
With the
probably
Minecraft
gonna be
movie?
really good.
I think the Minecraft movie looks good. From what
Yeah.
we saw the last time we watched the latest trailer or whatever, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it'll be hilarious. I always find it funny to see Jason Momoa not being a big, strong guy. You know what I mean? And being like a comedy guy, I think it's hilarious. So, I
Yeah.
think it's a good movie. I really do.
It'd be something different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We are now in total reboot now.
I do know, like some of the, I'm thinking some of the sports stuff. From what I understand, like the combine was this week.
Yeah.
I saw Pat did a thing where he talked to some of the punters and long snappers and stuff down
Yeah.
at the field. And he was like, towards the end of the speech, he goes, I didn't see like the first half, so
Yeah.
some of you might be shit. So I'm sorry if you were.
Brandon,
It's funny.
Brandon, this is something that Eric was going to bring up that I was going to talk about during this, and it's that in spring training is in full swing down in Florida, and they are testing out the ABS system, which
Now,
is
it
the ABS system
thing?
is like the
Anti-lock brake
strike
system?
zone.
Bruh, that's not. No, I don't think that's the same thing.
It's an electronic strike zone.
Okay, what's that?
And what it means is that if it would be a ball or a strike, okay, the player will now have the ability to challenge said ball or strike.
I thought they were trying to speed up baseball.
Well, they are.
But if you do that, that's not going to speed things up. Just like with the whole thing with the NFL and the fuck is it called?
Now,
the replay system and shit now.
That is only in the case that the player actually feels as though he has a legitimate shot. And
who doesn't?
Okay, and it's the same rule applies in football. If they lose the challenge, they no longer have it.
Oh, so you only get one of them.
You only get one.
So you better make sure it's.
So you better make sure it's a ball or strike.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I'm saying a challenge, I mean it has to be like a game-defining challenge. Now, the electronic strike zone does not mean they are getting rid of umpires. They are not doing that.
No.
They're not getting rid of the umpires. It's not going to change the game any at all.
I think it's going to. I think it's but I don't know. I don't watch enough baseball.
But I also agree with what you're saying, Brandon. They said that they're trying to speed the game up. Well, Eric's on the other side. That's throwing me way off. Anyways, they're trying to speed the game up.
Better?
Yes, a little bit.
You sound robotic.
Oh, well. Who, me?
Yeah. Like an old robot.
Well, that may
sounds normal to me.
One that needs to be unplugged and
Hell, he's the one who sounds like a robot. That's
That's crazy as hell.
I was joking about the robot, but Miranda, you also
How am I supposed to know if we're doing well?
Okay, he did that time.
You're really washed out.
I seen this thing about Myles Garrett too. He wants out of Cleveland, so that's another thing.
Please do not go to Pittsburgh.
Now, he's not. If he leaves, if he doesn't become a free agent, and he gets traded, they'd be dumb to trade him inside the division. That's just stupid.
Yeah,
he could end up on the Eagles.
Matt, don't use that tone when talking about Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, I do have some good news about Pittsburgh, though.
What's that?
The Indiana defensive tackle that led Indiana all the way through the season last year is being looked at by the Steelers. So, just saying that he's a very good player. So, his name's TJ something.
What do you mean? How's that a good thing?
I mean, no disrespect to the Steelers, but the Colts.
The
Of
Colts
course, it would be detrimental to the Colts.
The Colts are a lost cause, Aaron.
Matt, why don't you shut up and pick a team that matters? Okay, pick a team and stick with it. Okay.
Haters, not true fans.
For real.
Listen to me. I'm very open about being a bandwagon in the NFL.
No, you're not. No, you're not. We're not doing this shit again. You're just gonna lie to people.
Oh my Jesus.
Oh,
Um,
all I know is I'm holding out hope that the draft actually goes well and we actually draft what we need to draft this fucking season.
yes.
Like that's what I'm hoping.
Please, please
Like a quarterback.
That's your problem. You're holding out hope.
draft a quarterback.
That's just being rude.
I'm
at this point.
just kidding. It was a joke.
What was it Zendaya said in the Spider-Man movies? If you expect disappointment, you'll never be disappointed.
Exactly.
Yep.
Every year.
That's the way I
expect
feel about this
disappointment.
podcast right now.
Man.
Podcast is crushing it.
Yeah, well, you guys are crushing it. I'm not.
You know what? I think in cases like this, we should all have stuff prepared to kind of fill in the time.
We did. I think me and Brandon handled
I heard
that
Matt jumped ahead already and did half my topics for me anyway.
Yeah.
I
We got it
mean,
under
I don't blame
control.
him. I mean, what else can you do? But
Do you
We
have
got it under
a
control.
picture of like the ABS system that I showed you, or is you not?
yeah, I'm trying to wait and see if this is actually going to clear up. We may have to skip some of the movie stuff and be along with the rest of it at this point. But
That's fine. Well, we talked about Minecraft.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
when
you
we
talked about Minecraft. And
Was
I was
there a
going-
trailer that went with it though, Eric?
there was, but
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I
no, that's
yeah.
fine.
Comment
I wouldn't
about
try to-
mine.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to.
Well,
It's fine.
mainly Jack.
watch it
brought up
later.
that.
I seen the final. I didn't see the final trailer, but I seen what you're talking about.
Eric, can you move your head?
Nope.
All right.
I think he's gone again.
Yeah, he's just gonna bat all night. Probably.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
He's gonna. We won't be able to talk to him on Monday. He's still gonna be fuming.
he
Yeah.
gonna explode.
Yeah, Eric's gonna explode.
I don't know what to do. There's nothing I can do.
I know. We know. It's
Just
Oh,
be
not your
faceless
fault.
like me. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
He said, "Go faceless like him."
Well, the problem is a
Well,
lot of
yeah.
our visuals are through Eric.
Yeah, that's the thing. All the topics and everything are through me, so it ruins the whole show.
Well, maybe you can send some to some of us, and we can pull them up on ours.
Yeah, pull him up on our end and share it.
Well,
this
you
way.
you got the list. You could always, but good luck getting it all sorted because
Let me see.
I've got the list.
it's on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I send it to you every week, bro.
What makes me mad with this is Eric. Well, a lot of people don't see this. Is Eric busts his butt doing show prep,
Well, that's what bugs me the most is I spend all the time putting these shows together, and then this happens.
and this stuff happens. This is what makes you want to gnaw your arm off.
Ooh.
Yeah, up to the elbow.
Yeah.
What? No. Thank you.
For anybody still watching, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Like-
Because
like,
this is not the way
subscribe,
normal operations go
like,
around here.
Yes.
Oh my! Why is it when my camera was off? I'm actually staying pretty connected at the moment.
That's what I'm starting to notice. How many tabs do you have open?
None right now, because I had to restart everything.
Okay.
I mean, let's see if I can slowly put this show back together. I mean, we'll see. But it seems like every time I start to open my mouth is when it goes off, though. So it's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Don't talk about it.
Stop
Yeah.
opening your mouth.
Just stop talking.
If you froze up like
fuck?
that, I would have lost it.
What was that?
I don't know. No, by the way, Mike, Jon Stewart is different on the Daily Show. Not totally different, John. Thank God, because that got John on the Daily Show. I don't like him, but that's funny.
Epstein list contender.
Maybe, maybe.
Keep our fingers crossed, folks.
Yeah.
We might get a couple of them.
Well, if he
already.
quit breaking his or cutting his hand open by crushing mugs, maybe he'd be okay.
Okay. Okay.
What are you guys? Yeah,
We're just waiting for the impending doom.
yeah. Well, you're probably not wrong.
Yes.
I'm working on it. Just trying to see if I got a stable
Yeah,
connection.
we got in
It's not
trouble
your
for
fault,
talking
Eric.
without
We
you.
know it. It's okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
You did what without me?
So we got in trouble for talking without you.
No,
We
not
got in
really.
trouble for talking without you.
Fuck. Why
Who-
wouldn't it let me sign in the X? Like, what the
I
shit
didn't
is
get
going
mad
on?
at you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
I do. I didn't mean it. When did I get mad? I'm mad at,
You
I'm
got
mad at
him
the
mad
world
for
right now.
going on the topics.
Well, jokingly, I wasn't being serious.
Miranda,
No.
he yells at me when I do what I'm supposed to.
Well,
do.
neither
What are you
am
talking
I.
about?
What the shit? Why can't I?
Cursing. There's a quarter in the jar.
My jar's full at this point.
Yeah, Eric's gonna have to open a new bank
Big
account.
deal. It doesn't hurt anybody.
Cursing over there.
Yeah. We ain't even got the
Oh.
politics yet. We're going.
I know.
How many times can I say the F word before we get banned on
Okay.
YouTube?
Eric, you've been on a pretty steady.
Once the video starts, you got up to.
Oh, you mean right?
It stays that way. So
Well, I know. I'm hoping. I'm trying to set some things back up while we're talking here, but we'll see.
Aaron,
mean-
YouTube only being if you talk about elections being fraudulent.
Rigged. Yeah. Oh.
What the fuck?
What are you looking at, Brandon?
No, hold on.
I'll say apologies right now if I did come off that way. I was not trying to be, but this is
any
just
sports
stressful.
topics, like the combine's going on in Indianapolis. Am I correct?
Yeah, I don't know.
think
Is it all weekend?
Yeah.
I
And,
want to say it's usually about a week.
and
Oh, really?
I think. Could be wrong.
I have confirmed something that Pete Carroll is in that building. So all you Raiders fans, you can be excited. You might draft someone this year. Maybe. I'm speaking to Logan when I'm talking right now. That
Poor
some,
Logan.
some of
A
you,
Raiders
some
fan.
of you might draft a player this year.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
can't.
guess.
I can't promise you that he's not a UFL player or whatever.
Well, it finally fucking worked.
Okay.
Okay, well, since I've got it, I'm going to at least say the movie stuff. We'll wrap it up just by saying this. Marvel and DC are going to be fine. About 7 projects a year. We kind of got through most of the DC stuff. Marvel announced X-Men 97 Season 2, Daredevil Born Again Season 2, as well as Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, all coming out 2026 on top of Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, and a Punisher special will be coming out as well. So that should wrap up those 2 subjects at least. How about that? And then you talked about Minecraft?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we pretty much covered Minecraft. Minecraft looks like a good movie. We recommended it everybody to see it. So
Okay. Did not see the trailer. Actually, I haven't even watched it at all.
what about the Shrek reveal? Were we going to talk about that?
Yeah, I was going to hit it real quick. I mean, here's the Minecraft poster. Since it looks like I've got. No, I'm not going to even say a word. I don't want to tear it up. Minecraft movie. We'll see. Hopefully, it'll be fun. Just some quick hits. I was going to mention John Lithgow of The Third Rock from the Sun, and obviously he played Lord Farquaad in the Shrek movies. He has been cast as Dumbledore in the upcoming Harry Potter series on Max, coming out in I believe 2026. He'll be 87 years old by the time that series wraps up. So he'll be doing the last part of his life doing this role. So big commitment from him. We also got, as Mike mentioned earlier on, the passing of Gene Hackman, 95 years old. He was found with his wife and one of his dogs dead in his house. She was 68. He was 95. They said there was no foul play, but there's a lot of extenuating circumstances there. Like they found the front door was unsecured and open. Some pills were found next to her body. They were in separate rooms. 2 other dogs were alive. So there's an open investigation right now as to what happened with Gene Hackman.
There
So
was some foul play involved.
definitely, I don't know how it wasn't. The only other thing I could think of was, she was 68, and maybe when you're 95, your caregiver, if the caregiver dies, the dog, and he would have been left without assistance, maybe that could have explained it. But there was recent photos and video of him outside with her and was actually able to be mobile and things like that. So I don't know what happened there. But either way, sad to hear, and hopefully some answers can be made of that situation at some point.
Well, the Clintons strike again.
Well, yeah, I don't know about this, but yeah, who knows?
Hideousness.
Oh, this is the first look at Shrek 5, where it has been revealed that Zendaya will be voicing Shrek's daughter on the far right there. So we know that for a fact now. That kind of got leaked. It wasn't supposed to come out, I think, until December. So I don't know exactly how it got leaked or what scoopers got a hold of it, but they ended up releasing this little short 20, 30-second little clip, and you can check that out online as well. So we got that. And, of course, the Lord of the Rings film, The Hunt for Gollum, will be coming out now December 2027. Got pushed back by a year, but it'll be coming out soon as well. So those are some quick hits I was going to hit you there at the end. So that wraps up the movie stuff since God knows that was a disaster. But anyway,
okay.
thank you guys for holding on the ship, though. If I, like I said, if I came off kind of rude, I apologize. I was not trying to be just this.
No, you-
So
It drives me
that's
crazy.
Eric, you
frustrating.
came off fine. It's frustrating having internet issues. I get it.
Well, then I don't know how many people we lost and all that stuff during this, but anyhow, Mike said, FYI, still lying in bed watching the show in a manner I said I was earlier, like a true loyal viewer. So,
That's
Thank
still
you.
gross. That is still gross.
and Slara said, I think Jack Black already paid the price for his friend's actions, so I think it's time to forgive and move past it. Not sure what all you were talking about there, but yeah, I do remember him saying, don't miss Trump, or his friend was. That was bad.
I was talking about that.
I don't forgive that. Sorry. I'm just sorry. I don't.
Yeah.
But, that's just my opinion, but you can do what you will, for sure. But other than that, yeah, like I said, thank you for the technical wishes there. Let's see. Slara said DC could be doing a big push to get the ball rolling on their universe. Yeah, I think they are.
Agreed.
I really do, and I think once they hit it with Superman, they'll get just hit the ground running. And they got 5 or 6 projects already scheduled for the next 2 years, so that'll be good to see as well. So, I think we're all caught up now. We good?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could finish the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And cut all that out in post. Outside of you guys doing a good job, so definitely want to stress that for sure. All right, well, Brandon's looking for something. What are you digging for over there?
I was trying to I've never logged into my X account outside of my phone.
Mhm.
So then it had me do all this shit when I actually tried to log into it. So I was just trying to get my password figured out.
Ah,
Go
nice,
ahead.
nice. Well, while you do that, let's try to move on and pick up the pieces of this broadcast, and let's talk about some of the sports Matt already mentioned, and maybe a few other things. So let's check that out. Okay, as Matt was alluding to, the ABS strike zone system, or whatever, I guess that's what you call it,
Yeah.
is being implemented. I think it was already implemented in college, correct me if I'm wrong, and is
Yeah.
now being implemented in the major leagues, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
was implemented in AAA and Single A and all
Okay.
the minor league systems, and it is a system where it is to not necessarily. You can show the video if you want to.
Yeah, this is a video of the process, how it goes. So they'll take a pitch, and if the batter wants to challenge, he taps his helmet, and then it goes to a instant replay review, as you'll see here. Like it was called a strike. He wants to challenge it. He thinks it's a ball that's low, and then in this case, like I said, it cuts to a challenge screen to let the viewer know that it has been challenged. And then after that, you see the strike zone, the automated strike zone. And you see where the ball actually went. And in this case, the batter is correct. It is a ball that the umpire called wrongly. So in that case, the batter, wins the challenge. I don't know if there's like timeouts and things that are involved in that as well. But yeah, so that's essentially how it works.
Yes, I agree with what Brandon said. Brandon said
So-
they're supposed to speed the game along.
No, I thought they were trying to speed the game up. That's what they did with like the pitch count and all that shit.
No,
Or
Brandon,
the
the
timer for the
pitch-
pitchers.
Brandon, the pitch clock was something that was going to happen anyway. They've been doing the pitch clock all through college and all through youth baseball. My brother was even doing the pitch clock when he was pitching, and it basically it doesn't speed the game along necessarily, but it's supposed to give it a nice pace to it. I don't know where Eric went. We may have lost.
I'm right
Eric.
here. I'm just trying. Yeah, yeah.
We may have lost pace to it, and what it did was it designed it so that way you could throw the pitch by 8 seconds. You would be ready. The batter is supposed to be ready and engaged with the pitcher. Now the ABS system, as you see, that is a strike on the top. That is a ball in the corner. That's the two difference that you can do it. Now the minor leagues have been doing this for 2 years now. The major leagues has been very reluctant not to do it, because the Major Leagues Baseball has been the same way it's been for the last 180 years. So
Okay.
within the last 180 years, it's changed a lot. I think the ABS system has maybe given it a little bit of pizzazz, But I don't want it to do it to where Brandon says and it's going to slow the game down and it's going to make us wait forever to get a call. You know, it's not like targeting.
Mm.
You know, it I don't want it to become like targeting. You know, targeting is so misused. I don't want players to abuse this. Like if it's a borderline strike and the player just wants to be stubborn. Now can a pitcher challenge as if the ball is called and he feels like it is strike? Yes, I think so. Actually, yes. Michael, to answer your question, the pitcher can challenge it. All the pitcher has to do is tap his head and step off the mound. That would be considered a challenge. However, in the same scenario that the batter gets, the pitcher will have to the pitcher only gets one challenge, the same as the batter does. If they lose that challenge, the next batter cannot challenge that pitch for the entire inning. It is one inning based on the other inning.
So they get it once an inning?
They get it once an inning. They may not even use it. Terry Francona, the manager of the Reds, says, we're not using this. It's not been in baseball throughout the years. It's not going to be in there now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's going to be just what it is.
Okay. Well, as long as it doesn't make the game longer.
It should. If anything, Brandon, I think it'll make it more interesting. But there's one rule that I do not like in baseball, and I really wish they would bring it back. I do not like the only throwing 3 times over to first shit. That is the dumbest rule ever. Baseball, you picking people off on base, it is enjoyable to watch people fail miserably at running bases. I mean, God intended us to laugh at those people that can't run the bases. So when you take that away, what players did last year is they just ran on pitchers. They ran and they ran and they ran. There was a record number for stealing bases last year, and they were like, "Oh, this is miraculous. They suddenly broke a 40-year record." Well, maybe if you can throw to first more often, they would break that record. Just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say on the baseball topics. And go Yankees. That's all.
What'd you say, Miranda?
Ew.
Yeah. Okay, we got some NFL things here. Yes, this is another thing me and Eric were talking about a lot. NFL is replacing first down chains with a Hawkeye virtual measurement system, and they have, from what I understand, they have to be implemented into the stadiums. And I don't know if that's been done yet or not, but it's been talked about a lot throughout the NFL. They'd have to retrofit every stadium with it, though.
Like another cam on the wires thing like they have?
It's on the ball.
Oh.
The chip would be inside the ball, and it would be able to tell whether or not it's a first down or not without the
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard Pat and him talking about this a while ago.
Yes.
Mm.
Which would change football quite a bit.
I wonder if that throws off anything because, like, I don't know.
Mean, it should.
With the ball.
Yeah.
How the hell you put a chip inside the ball?
I mean, you could. It's not much more complicated. I mean, all you do is put the microchip in, but you'd have to the problem is with that system, and me and Eric talked about it a lot, is you have to retrofit every stadium to do it. Not every team's going to do that. Is that retrofitting going to be cutting their salary cap? Is it going to be put into their, is Roger Goodell just going to say, here you go, here's $100 million to retrofit your stadium? You know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yes.
They have to do a lot of testing because if you're going to throw a microchip around a field and expect it to be accurate every time.
Mm-hmm. But they'll still have the original chain gang there too. So
see that's what
I guess
Miranda is the inaccuracy of it. I agree. It is you don't know. I mean, you're going to get some errors here and there.
But you're getting if as long there's a lot of other things the NFL needs to fix too, as far as the officiating goes. We saw a lot of that last year. I'm all for them trying to figure out, but like, I don't want another year of. We started off last football season. The first game we watched, there was 4 calls in the first 4 plays on the same player for the same fucking thing.
Yep.
So like, I don't want to start the football season off like that again, because from that point on, they were calling all kind of fucking weird calls that they've never called before because they were trying to set a precedent. But then they didn't uphold that whole precedent throughout the whole fucking season. The shit that they were calling, they just stopped calling, and they never call another nonsense. So
no, they didn't. They obviously were. It's obvious that they had some kind of vendetta to.
I just feel like their officiating doesn't hold any consistency in the NFL. Like I said,
Agreed.
One week they would make a call, and then the next week they would look past that fucking call. So like, there's no consistency as far as penalties go in the NFL. If you're gonna start a guideline somewhere, just be, if you make that call in the first game, then you make that call every game.
Agreed. Well said.
Yeah, that's it. Because
Well,
like,
they
I'm not
had to do
saying-
it, right?
I think
It was to make get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl.
and they lost.
And that's why I feel the more you could take it out of the referee's hands, the better.
Yeah.
But
Go
you know.
sports team.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, go sports team.
the only reason why I don't know the Chiefs lost is because everybody called the refs out on their bull crap. So like, oh crap, we gotta reel in this.
They
And-
they got beat because they weren't playing well. It's the same thing I said before. The Chiefs were playing like shit all season. It was the luck victories and the referee helps. Like, that's the only reason they got as far as they were. Because then when they went up against a team that actually played fucking football, they got destroyed. They didn't just get beat. They got fucking outplayed from the first play of that game to the first touchdown. It was over. And they also took away one of the best running backs in the NFL, and they still fucking lost. So, like, if anything, like I said, if the refs want to prove something, then you just be fucking consistent. If you make one call in that first game, you better make that same call 6 games or in the playoffs or even in the fucking Super Bowl. That same call.
yeah, I agree with that.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately, with humans, there's always going to be human error. There's nothing
Yeah,
you can
that's
do
part of
about it. Sadly, you know. But I mean, at least in regards, if they do this with the first downs, though, I hope they do it at the goal line too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'll at least know for certain who scored and who didn't.
But that's where a lot of the calls, yeah.
You know, or
And
the
players remember to hold on to the fucking football when they cross the goal line too.
yeah, there'll be no question about whether or not they crossed before they dropped it or not.
I still
But yeah.
can't fucking
I wonder
believe
how
he did
that's
that
going to
shit.
affect the tush push.
Well, speaking of the tush push, thank you. Because apparently this week, as long as things hold up, there was a team who submitted a proposal to introduce a rule change to the league in order to ban the tush push next season. That team that introduced the rule change proposal was the Green Bay Packers. Now, now they've attempted to use the tush push themselves a few times, also known as the brotherly shove, and have not had much success as the current champion Philadelphia Eagles have. It's also worth noting that the Packers were eliminated by the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs this season.
Yes.
So
Wow.
is this a little sour grapes or a legit rule change that needs to happen?
You
Sour
have the
grapes.
same amount
grapes.
of downs
Shut
and
up,
quarters to stop the opposing team from fucking winning.
That is
If
your
you're telling
shit.
me you lost that game because you couldn't stop them on a play that you also tried to do, that's a you problem.
Yeah. Green Bay also leads the league in bitching. So
That was a good one.
That was a good one, man.
just saying, they're number one. If they can't beat the Bears, then they whine about it the entire time. So
Oh, I needed that one. Thank you.
That was
Oh my God. You know, I got Packers fans in the family, so I'm not going to, I mean, I got nothing, but
it's okay. I'm just I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm sick and
look,
tired of
if
hearing
you
them
don't
whine.
like it, stop it.
I feel like you could
all I
have
can say,
input
guys.
any team here in that statement, though.
Yeah,
They lead the team in pitch.
the Ravens.
You know.
Sorry, Aaron.
What do you mean? What did the Ravens bitch about?
Well, they really whined. Lamar just sat there and just goes, "Man, I really wish I could do more for my team." Well, how about you throw the ball for one?
He did.
They
They played excellent. They
I think
just
you're
got
a lot behind
outrated.
there.
Like
You have the number
this is
one
shit
running
take here,
back.
buddy. This is a L take, man.
Yeah.
You got the
They
number
just-
one.
Yeah, I was behind Matt until just now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an L take,
No,
brother.
that's not a
Yeah.
point.
They got caught up in the pressure and they choked. I mean, that's all that was.
The Yankees choked 2 in the World Series, so it's okay.
No one cares about the Yankees.
Okay, thank you.
Bro.
Miranda said, "Ew."
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of the Yankees, I agree with Slara. Baseball is a boring sport anyway. So
Thanks. Yeah.
Damn. Coming
No, I
for
don't
your
mind
throat, big
baseball.
dog.
I just got to give Matt help here. But yeah,
Nope, I'm
Uh,
okay with it. After that bitching statement, let's go.
well, speaking of bitching, I'm about to do a little here on the Colts if I can for a
Yes,
hot
please,
second,
please do.
assuming I am allowed to. Internet
Sweet.
gods. The Indianapolis Colts this week, and Chris Ballard in particular, stated that they intend to have an open quarterback competition between Anthony Richardson and a yet-to-be-determined player they intend to acquire this offseason. This came from Stephen Holder of Indianapolis here. But will it be a real quarterback competition? Like, could Richardson lose his job to potentially Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, or whoever the Colts get? Or is this just a way to motivate Anthony Richardson by picking up another quarter? Or could it be Gardner Minshew, who looks like the Raiders are looking to replace? Maybe he comes back to Indianapolis.
Why?
I don't know.
Me, pick me.
A lot of people feel, at least I do feel, I do like the idea of them giving Richardson a competition to make him earn it, because hopefully that'll light a fire under him to kind of bring that out of him. But at the same time, I feel like by benching him last season, I know the tap thing was a problem, but they said even after Flacco sucked, they really didn't want to, it almost sounded like they didn't want to bring him back in to be the starter, but they had no other choice. So it almost feels like, to me, like the Colts don't know what they want right now to some degree. And that worries the crap out of me, more so than Anthony Richardson's struggles.
We're gonna get Daniel Jones.
I have a feeling it could be somebody like that, yeah.
Daniel Jones would be great.
I listen. I promise you.
Josh
And,
Allen.
I'm so for real when I say this.
Josh
if this
Allen.
happens, I will become a Steelers fan. I'm not bullshitting. I'll be damned if I'm watching any Colts games. I'm watching all Pittsburgh games this year. If we shit the bed here, I'm done.
Okay.
All right. I have tried to ride for this team for so fucking long, and I'm fucking over it. Like,
I got no other options,
heard
so I'm
it
sticking
here.
with Indy. Yeah.
No, this is
You better-
okay. This is good.
Yeah.
Rather better
you
be
didn't
safe.
mention Aaron Rodgers' name.
Oh, I've heard Aaron Rodgers may be going to the Giants, just switching New York teams. That they're looking at that as a legit option, which sucks to be a Giants fan. I'm sorry. Slara may
not
like
good
that as a
this year.
Cowboys fan.
Sell the teams.
Yeah, well, I mean,
why are we doing this? I said this before. This is the year. These young rookies that we're getting now, that are in the league now, they're your future. These old guard shit, it's always a rotation, right? This isn't they're all falling off. Like, I don't understand his whole hang up here. I'm talking about not Brett Favre. Man, I was about to call
Rodgers?
that man Brett Favre. Right, let it go, bro.
kind of doing
You've
the
done
same
everything.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
you've done everything. You've accomplished all. Let it go. You got to know when to fucking fold them, and this is one of them. After a year like that, it's the same thing I said about Tom too.
It's time.
Tom should have retired when he was on top. He went back and they got fucking destroyed, and then he retired.
Yeah.
Like,
He had a good year before he retired, but yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
Rodgers, brother, hang it up.
Yeah, it might be time.
Rodgers.
Plus, I don't want to see him on the Colts.
But this came out this week too. I don't have the graphic here, but we talked about how Travis Kelce should probably also hang it up. It was also stated this week that Travis Kelce does intend to return next year. So
I don't know why.
one more year of Swifties crap at least.
I don't know why.
Let it end.
Let it end.
Anthony Richardson.
Hopefully.
Find another hobby.
I just hope whoever it is that brings it
Here's
out
the
of Richardson
thing.
is all.
That's the thing. I think too. It's not just Anthony Richardson.
No.
I think it's this fucking franchise.
Yeah.
Yes.
He might go somewhere else, and then next thing you know, he plays like fucking Jaden Daniels does. You know what I'm saying?
Which worries me and Eric.
And then we're like, we'd obviously go, well, then we were the problem. Because I think that's what it is. There's not enough pieces, and there's not enough talent anywhere. And like I said before, this isn't just a fucking a player issue either. This is up top management fucking issue.
On down, yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Now, Chris Ballard, when he said this earlier this week, which was encouraging at least to hear, he did say something along the lines of, we knew when we drafted the kid it was going to take some time and be a project. So that's good, but don't destroy his confidence by bringing in another quarterback and taking the job from him, in my opinion. But at the same time, like I said, I understand you want to push the kid. I get it.
Who?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's going to be like you're going to know. Then that's the Colts' MO too. They always default to these old, washed up, over the hill, been there, done that quarterbacks, and then they like, well, we want to try the new kid. Then they don't get the new kid the chance
So
more than 2 years.
Then you draft. So then you just pick up. Let's hypothetically here. Say if you picked up fucking Daniel Jones, he didn't do shit where he was before.
But you guys,
I know you want to talk about turnovers. Here we go.
You guys are missing the point. Okay, what if the Colts do something mad, like they trade up for like number 2 in this draft, and they take like
that's not happening.
Say, Eric, what if they do?
They're going to have to give up their house the next 2 years to do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because that's idiotic.
Yeah.
You give up the future of your franchise for one guy. That may not work.
Eric, if they don't trade up for a quarterback in this draft, it's Ballard's job.
There's only like 2 quarterbacks that are mocked to go in the first round anyway. No one's a lot of these other teams like the Raiders who are looking for a quarterback. They're going to be going free agent too. It's not going to be a draft situation this year.
But if you think about,
it's just not a good class.
But for Richardson and Richardson's draft class, who we passed up to get Anthony Richardson, none of them are good.
CJ Stroud's pretty decent. Even though I think he was gone by the time he got to us. But anyway.
CJ Stroud is decent because the Texans have been backloading for decades.
Well, that's what the Colts need to start doing. Building around him.
Since Watson.
Yeah. I'm still hoping maybe we can go get – I still hope we can maybe go get like a T. Higgins in free agency who would automatically become the number 1 wide receiver in my opinion, outside of maybe some injury history. But yeah.
I heard they were franchise.
Go get D-Hop.
Well, they might, but they've got Jamar Chase and someone else. I think the defensive linebacker, I can't remember, it was Trey Hendrickson, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, who I would not be surprised if the Colts would try to go get too if he's a free agent because we got their old defensive coordinator now. So, and he's a hell of a player at linebacker. But
like I said, if they shit the bed on this one, I'm not kidding.
And Slara said that Brandon would actually look good in a Steelers yellow and black with an ugly towel around his neck. Little shade there.
Crazy. She said that.
She said, "Go Cowboys! We'll take anything we can get with Aaron Rodgers coming to town, maybe." So yeah, or to the Giants, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how the Colts end up doing, but yeah, it definitely worries me.
How they're gonna do disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but what's not disappointing? Apparently, we got a.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, he's coming through. Loading.
Mm-hmm.
Loading.
Is that Matthew Stafford?
Yeah.
Yes, that's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, he restructured his deal with the Rams, if you can hear me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he will stay with the Rams after all. So he is the first official offseason quarterback domino that has fallen.
I heard that Dak Prescott.
I think Eric's having issues because of the wind. It's pretty windy outside.
I think the name is Adam Schefter.
It's Schefter.
Schefter?
Yeah.
I think you got the wrong guy on screen.
No. It says breaking news from Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter's the reporter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Come on, there. Program here, Aaron. I heard that what was I saying? Fuck.
You heard.
It through the grapevine.
Shut up, bitch. It's about to lose my mind, honey.
Honey.
All right. I keep talking. I'll remember.
Eric, continue.
What the fuck did he say? He said,
What?
Anyway,
keep talking. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say.
I can't talk because my internet keeps jumping.
Oh,
Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford stayed with the Rams.
I heard the Dak Prescott might not. It depends on how it goes, but he could be leaving Dallas.
Oh, that won't make Slara happy.
It will make me happy, and it'll probably make half of Dallas happy.
That's crazy.
You know, Nate's probably watching this debacle of a show, so he's probably not going to be happy to hear that.
Yes, he will.
Or
You did for him last year. Why wouldn't they be happy?
That's exactly.
They are paying a lot of money. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago or whatever.
Again, you didn't do shit for him last year.
You paid him all that money to sit at home. Well, he built that new house.
He's sitting up in the press box.
Apparently, the Las Vegas Raiders were in the market for Matthew Stafford, but now they are expected to investigate quarterback options at Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Sam Darnold, per sources. So both Steelers quarterbacks are up in free agency this year. Thoughts on that, Steelers fans?
Bring back the young one. How about that?
Yeah, I think you let go of Wilson and keep Fields.
I just want somebody that can win.
I think there's more upside with Fields than Wilson.
Miranda, if they keep Justin Fields, they will win.
They won the beginning of the year with him, and then they switched it and kind of went downhill. Well, they started out okay. So maybe Fields is the answer in Pittsburgh. I don't know.
I know a thing or two about winning. I usually win.
Not in fantasy, you don't.
Okay. We're not talking about that.
I am.
Then what are you talking about? I think wow. I do think though I was more. It was more interesting when Justin Fields was on the field because he can throw the ball. Now his deep ball needs a little work. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah.
But his short game and his ability to run and he got some pretty good yards when he ran that ball too. I think it adds another layer to Pittsburgh that Pittsburgh hasn't had for a long fucking time in a mobile quarterback. Let's be honest, Ben wasn't the most mobile quarterback, but Ben was a big dude and was able to get out of situations.
Oh yeah.
And he could throw. Now, I will say this too. Ben didn't have the best arm, but Ben had pretty good fucking accuracy on his throws.
Yeah, Ben threw it deep.
Ben also had wide receivers like in Hines Ward who could seemingly catch the ball no matter where the fuck he threw it. So there was also that.
Yeah.
True too. So yeah, that's the NFL news so far. Like I said, we'll probably keep updating you on free agencies and trades and things like that once March 12th hits, when free agency takes place leading into the draft, which the draft is only I think it's the same week, or I'm sorry, it's a week after WrestleMania weekend, so it's only like 2 months away too.
Holy shit.
It's going to be here before you know it. So yeah, there's not going to be anything lacking to talk about when it comes to the world of NFL for sure, even through the offseason.
It doesn't seem like it's like that quick.
I know, but it is. It's crazy, isn't it?
This year is flying by, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. The older you get, the more that happens.
I'm enjoying it.
Well, I just feel like these 4 years are gonna, fly by, and then the next 4 years are gonna just suck.
And depending on who the political president is and things like that, maybe. I don't know. Well, I mean, speaking of that, I guess we could try to do this politics segment, God willing. Lord, do you want your message to get out? I'm trying. Help me out here. I mean, man. All right. Mike's probably like, no, just let it burn. We don't need the politics. Yeah.
Let's get there. I got something I need to say.
Okay, well, let's move into the politics thing, and I'll give it to Brandon here. So hold on.
Make America great again.
Okay. I didn't see the whole conversation between Zelensky, the president, but I caught like a lot of the important bits. And then I seen this video of this guy talking about it. And it basically was the whole don't bite the fucking hand that feeds you. What you can't do is come up here and then start making demands about shit that, like, motherfucker, if it wasn't for us, you'd already be gone. Like, it's irrelevant. Like, you want more money for something we want to end, and now you're upset about it. The fact that you called a vice president a bitch is crazy. In his house,
You say bitch?
Yeah, I'd have swung on you. This is the reason why I'm not in charge of countries, because you can't talk to me like that. That's crazy work, especially if I'm the one funding or you want money from me, you want my help. Nah, big dog. And like, this just goes to show you, this is one of those situations where he didn't get what he wanted, so he threw a temper tantrum. And it is what it is, bro. Like, we're trying to end this shit because it's a needless fucking thing. Something we're spending billions of dollars on that we shouldn't be spending billions of dollars on. And for him to act like a spoiled child is crazy. But that also lets you know how much the last administration was just bending over backwards for this fucking dude. Anybody? Did y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Randy, can you hear me? Hello? Nope. Why you got his mugshot picture up there?
Because you were talking about him. I was going through when I can get a word in edgewise. Oh my word. It's got to be the wind. Bad though.
Okay.
He's got a punchable face.
Unbelievable.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, I mean, I'm talking about Matt.
Yeah, he does have a punchable face.
No, like, he acted like a spoiled child, and it's because he didn't get what he wanted. But of course, you're not going to get what you want when you come up here talking mad aggressive.
3/4 of our podcast going.
So, like, I respect the way JD and Trump handled this situation. They were a lot more diplomatic than I would have been.
Yep. They were a lot nicer than I would have been too. Because let me tell you something. He is a spoiled brat that is getting rich off everybody's money. All that tax dollars.
I think. Gosh dang it. I can't get 2 words in.
And why did it look like he just came from the gym?
You got those in.
I don't know.
Yeah. Barely.
I'm just saying, everybody in there was like in a suit, look nice, look clean shaven, and he, walks in like he just came up from a gym.
He's supposed to be war torn. What, that picture of his face is crazy.
Him why he never wears a suit.
He never what? What'd you say?
Why
Ryan?
he never wears a suit?
What did he say?
He had some Zelensky answer for them and
That was it.
said maybe after the war he would wear a suit.
Well, then that's what
God
they were
knows he
trying
should
to
be
do.
able to afford it.
Yeah.
Jeez. You think he'd take a little bit of that $350 billion and buy a suit. But
Yeah, he's spending it on fucking something.
yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, he's got property in Florida, and I'm pretty sure he's got a couple yachts and
So that's where our tax dollars went.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was going to play this entire, altercation here between Trump and Zelensky, but since we're having so much trouble, I may not.
It's all good. I mean, you can find it. I've seen it.
Oh, God.
I've heard of other countries and wealthy people of other countries owning land or something in America or just houses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That bothers me a little bit because it's like, unless you're trying to contribute to America or something, then you shouldn't be owning stuff in America.
Well, I'm sure that like they'll probably have to I don't know, probably pay property tax and all that other shit. Like,
Aaron, I
but
like
at the
that
same
part.
time, but
Yeah,
like,
but
no, they don't.
no, he would, but like he would have to pay property taxes, yes. But what Aaron is like China, Trump, I'm
Oh.
pretty sure has signed an executive order saying China is not allowed to have property or own
And that's for a
property here
reason.
because they were
Mhm.
buying up all the farmland. So
Oh, yeah, I get that.
so if Zelensky wanted to buy up a bunch of land, yeah,
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying now.
that would be
Problematic.
Yeah,
bad.
and if they own parts of America, does that make those
And
parts
you shouldn't be able to buy mansions.
Mm-hmm.
no longer American?
I don't know. I don't know how that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how a foreign dignitary, like, how that works as far as like
Then we
property
should
goes
be
and shit
taxing
like
the
that.
people that own land on America from foreign countries for said land. We should. I mean taxing. I mean heavily taxing.
But wait a minute, hold on. While that's fine, we want to get rid of property taxes. So let's be careful what we wish for, okay?
But I guess in the sense of foreign dignitaries, I mean, it would have to be because I don't know if like
Poor Eric.
with the whole, it's like sovereign land type shit. Oh, is this the? Go ahead, play it, Eric, or if you can.
I don't know if I can, but I was at least gonna pause it. This is the Ukrainian ambassador during this whole,
That sums it up right there.
Yeah, that's like literally like this motherfucker. Man,
that poor lady looks tired.
She looks
She looked ready to resign if the money wasn't good.
How to screw up my country.
She looks so over it. Like, that's one of those, like, this motherfucker right here.
Well, let's see. I'm not taking a peace deal with the foreign dictator that wants to blow up my country. And I don't want to accept the relief money either. Okay. Well, then what do you want?
Yeah, I don't fucking get it.
Like
I said,
that
whole thing
Yeah.
no sense to me. Like, what's your angle?
Yeah, like I said, don't bite the fucking hand that feeds you.
What's your angle here? And I know what your angle is, Miranda. Well, I'm going to get to what implicates all this in there.
Go ahead, get there.
Because he wants to sit there off of U.S. tax dollars. Okay.
If the F word was a picture.
Yes. If the F word was a picture. Are you having fun over there, Eric?
If you could scream out the F word at this point, that's what her face looks like right here. God.
Mm-hmm.
It's the eyebrow pinch. It's the eye pinch. Like, no fucking shot. Because now she has to report this, for her country. That's insane. How your president just went over and shit the bed instead of bartering for peace and stopping this fucking fighting. No, he just causes more fucking trouble.
More fighting.
Oh,
he gets kicked out of the White House.
Yeah, by also
more fighting. Which, let me tell you something. I'm not sure how I take that. Him talking to J.D. Vance like that. I take that more of like as a threat.
Bro, you can't talk to me like that.
Because let me tell you something. If I was vice president and you talk to my vice president like that, you gotta be shitting me. Man, you gotta be shitting me.
Ain't no bitch in my home, bro. In my house? Nah.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? You can call me that. But you know what? You can go ahead and let Russia have all your land.
Not my house.
Because let me tell you something. I can guarantee you that Russia isn't going to use it.
Not in my house.
Mhm.
Call me a bitch in my house? Nah, big dog.
Miranda,
It's
you
Secret
know,
Service hands for you.
you know for a fact that they're not going to use that land.
Russia does. Look, this could have been
They
over.
might not.
No, they're not going to. You know why they're not going to do that? Because after all this is done, they will border a NATO country.
And that's not what he wants.
That's not what he wants.
NATO's going to be gone after all this. I don't
Oh
give
my
a shit what
God.
anybody said.
Probably.
They will.
It reminds me of the Aladdin line by Will Smith. It says, "It's cold and dark in this lamp, and I prefer it over there."
It is. It is.
Oh, yeah. The disrespect, though, that's crazy. That's crazy work.
It's
Now,
sad.
this whole thing, I've been reading about. I don't know that much into it, but I've been
This
reading
shit.
about. This shit is crazy.
Okay,
Go ahead, babe. Go. What you got?
get in there, Miranda.
Me?
Oh yeah.
I told you what I
have
think.
you
I
heard
think
so-
they're using. I haven't heard shit other than people whine about how this person and this person got a binder, but they didn't.
Mhm.
Oh,
So who?
X has been.
So this binder looks pretty fucking thick. Oh my god.
Yeah, but that
True.
binder doesn't have anything new in it. People like
Oh.
me have known about that stuff for years.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff has been out. There's nothing new in that binder. So yesterday's debacle
Mm-hmm.
with releasing that binder was somebody's sick joke or a way to pull out some more rats, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Because I still say if there's names on that list or in those files and those people are alive, Bill Clinton,
Yeah.
then they should go to prison.
About like that.
I mean, there was literally a painting of that man in a dress at that dude's fucking house. Like,
I know, but
Yeah.
Clinton's involved in
remember,
that shit
it
happened.
Bill, I'm just
I
saying, just watch yourself.
Matt
Bill
called out
Gates.
Hillary earlier.
Let's see,
Yeah,
Bill
that's
Gates.
wild.
I mean,
Yeah, but you know,
if the
they're not
shoe fits,
Matt.
So there's nothing new per se in this whole
there's
thing.
nothing new in that.
Mm.
Mm.
So then
Why?
what's the what?
Okay,
The rest of it, what we really want, the FBI still has. But if it's
Mm.
still being investigated,
Okay.
they can't release it.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It's an open case. If there's an open
So-
cases going on, they can't. It's just like with the whole Diddy thing. The reason why you haven't got a list of people
Mhm.
who attended these fucking parties is because a lot of them were still being investigated and ruled out, or other procedures have been done. So that's why it's not
Yeah.
all out in the open yet. Okay, I got you. What is that? I can't read that with it.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
Ah.
hold on.
I
That's
see
Pam
Pam
Bondi's
Club.
letter to Cash, I think.
Okay. Well, what's this letter
I think.
talking about?
Oh, so
Demanding that she gets the files by 8 a.m. today.
yeah, I think there was like over 1,000 files that the FBI stationed in New York were withholding from this investigation. And Pam Bondi heard about it when Cash got, what is it? What's the right word? Anointed.
Not anointed.
So
Confirmed.
confirmed. Yes. When he got confirmed, he was like, I didn't know anything about this, and so she's like, yeah, well, you're gonna get those papers.
Mm.
Yeah, they're actually, I think they're at the SDNY, the Southern District of New York.
Mm.
I know they're involved in it somehow.
Okay.
There's
But again, if there's an ongoing investigation, of course, you won't get all of the information right now because they need it for evidence and they just can't give it out to people right away.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but Pam, instead of making it a lie and saying something, she got all these people thinking they were going to get new evidence, and they didn't.
So now it caused an uproar, and okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Good
Jeez.
job, Pam.
So it says Pam Bondi states that the FBI didn't release all the information to her, but she literally told Jesse Waters the night before that she had seen all the files and would release them. Either she lied.
Yeah.
I don't know the second part of that.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Lied about what she knew, or there's an internal civil war between the deep state remaining in the FBI and Bondi's DOJ.
Yes.
Yep.
I got it. Okay.
Bondi is,
Okay.
yeah, there's something going on there. I don't understand why it's taking so long.
Well, with something like this massive, this big, there's a lot of players involved. And in order to get cases that stick, you have to do a lot of investigations. And
I mean, it's not going to be like a RICO case. I mean, you can't.
No, not really. No.
I think one of the major issues, I think it was even stated in that letter that Pam Bondi talked about, is they want to protect the identities of the victims. And so being how to release, so the hard part was like how to release the information without, putting those victims in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm. All I know is some sick shit that was done on that place, and whoever is involved, just like with this whole Diddy shit, should not deserves no grace nor anything else. I don't give a shit the level of the celebrity of who you are. If you're involved in any of this, it's literally fuck you, because it's a
yeah, and shit. I'm going to reiterate, if they're not releasing it,
there's something really
these
bad.
people are sick. They're bad, and the normal people are probably going to freak out when they hear just how bad it is.
The United Miranda, you know,
and if
this.
they've had this information, look,
you as a fellow conspiracy talker, you know this, that the United States government does not really, if it's really, really bad and it's really, 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 really going to cause an uproar or a panic, the United States government is very hesitant to release anything.
Yeah, but at some time too, dude, you gotta fucking either rip the Band-Aid off.
Well, that's their
yeah, but this isn't
security.
This isn't that kind of bad. This is the United States government is involved in it.
Well, yeah, and they try.
And I don't mean just as a president. I mean, they couldn't have gotten away with this for as long as they've gotten away with it for if they didn't have help on the inside. So every position that Hillary ran for or Clinton was in, Obama, they all got there so they could keep their plan going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So, like...
And that was trafficking children and drugs. Yeah. And the drugs, I don't mean like cocaine. I mean adrenochrome.
Brandon.
That picture is crazy business.
I kind of like running the show this way. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, like, that's fucked up. That is so weird. Like, I get jokes and I get like, okay, let's hypothetically here say Matt lost in in football, and we got a pitcher like this commission for him, whatever the case may be. That's funny, whatever. But this is in a place where devious activities took place. And this is just in his
Look
house.
up why they wear red shoes.
I'm not about to Google it. Okay.
Yes. A friend of mine was talking about this a couple days ago. And they were saying that there's a deep conspiracy between Hollywood and the deep state about wearing red shoes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it has to do with child sex trafficking, and like Miranda said, drugs. It's a very bad business. And these people are it's not like these people aren't going to see jail time. I mean, there's a lot of them out there. You know, if you watch the inauguration of Donald Trump, those people, the guilty ones, if you watch it over again, it's like they're going to a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
In some aspects, a lot of them are.
Yeah, because that they knew that this shit was going to come to the light.
Yep.
And it's ugly. I mean, sometimes, and what makes me mad is you, like Brandon says, sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and do what you have to do to get America back to where it needs to be again. You know, I love Donald Trump's campaign phrase and his campaign slogan because it's so true. Make America great again. And this is part of it. You know, you got to get rid of the crap.
Right before we went live tonight, I seen that Oreo and there's another cookie. I think it was Nabisco, the company. They are going to go ahead and implement the European standards over here. You know, and make their cookies healthier here. Now,
There's a lot of
finally,
the world.
Me and
after
Aaron
they've
were
been
having.
called out about it.
Mm-hmm.
What made them decide it was okay to ban a whole fucking country?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who was it that okayed that? Which doctors said that was okay? All of our doctors in this country are going to have to be retrained because they've all been lied to about everything.
Yep.
I mean, Race Hustler,
there
including
was
fired from MSNBC.
Why did you say that? That's awful.
Yeah.
Pigs have now been released back into the wild. Bye.
Gosh, you're not even on screen, and you're making me die.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yes, I like to repeat what Eric is saying.
Hold on 1 second.
Just about to piss Eric off even more.
There was we had went to a doctor before for one of the kids, and they were telling us about shit that they do that other doctors don't do because of this reason and this reason, because it's not the right way it's supposed to be done. And there are a lot of doctors like that. The reason why they're not widely talked about is because they're not pushing the agenda or the medicines on everybody. And so it blows my mind that like some people are just okay with that fact. Yes, that's a very yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Because that's the only way you're gonna you gotta cut the head off the snake, and if you don't, then
it's just gonna continuously bad.
But
I mean,
just like with, go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna say, I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like maybe there are some a sort of like Rico thing, where you take out a smaller fish to get the
Get a bigger fish. Yeah.
And maybe there are talks with some of the littler fish saying, "Hey, we'll lose or lighten your sentence if you tell us about a bigger fish and what they did."
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, I like Loki looking over her shoulder kind of creepily.
Except this is like it's like a wild goose chase.
But they have so many fucking players. Again, Joy Reid was one of them. Like, I hate that there are selective black people with microphones that speak for everybody. That shit pisses me off.
Okay.
Because you don't speak for me.
Will you
Okay.
stop whining? You're not going out there, boss. Calm down.
Wait, are you suggesting that Joy Reid was a part of the Epstein thing?
No, what I'm saying is, I don't know, she fucking might be. At this point, I ain't ruling nobody out. What I'm saying is, collectively, what they would do is they would give these black celebrities microphones, and then they would make these statements about things, and it's like they spoke for the whole of black people entirely, and it was like, that's not how that shit works at all. You want my opinion, you ask me. Don't go off of some celebrity because they fucking said it. That's not the way I think.
Yes. There's Eric.
Eric, we can hear the video, I think, in the back.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. No, go hide your face again. That's the punishment you get. See, that's being harsh.
No,
Brandon, bottom line, what I think what you guys are trying to say is everyone on the list should be dealt with in the harshest manner. I mean, there's not even a bit of remorse in my thought process either, Brandon, that these people are done very sick things. And to Aaron's credit, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe like a RICO case. I don't think so either.
Mm-mm.
I mean, even what was her co-host or whatever, that one lady who was like, it's shameful or something like that about Joy Reid being kicked off the show. I was like, you're just saying that. You don't care because all you women over there are toxic. You're happy.
Yeah.
Women get put down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear that. Anyway.
I don't like shit. Like the shit. Also, I hate fake fucking sympathy. Like the whole crying. Like, shut up, bitch. Like, you don't. I hate people like that. Like, that shit pisses me off more than anything. Like,
yeah.
Because you're doing exactly what. How can I put this?
Yeah.
It's disingenuous to black people, period. Oh, yeah, I seen this today. Me and Eric were also talking about this shit.
I'm missing something. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
it's like they freak out so much, don't they?
If your job is really that fucking needed, right? Like, answering an email should be no big deal to you. But it's because you were so used to these fucking handouts and free money that you don't want to do this shit because you're losing all of that. Like, go ahead, Brian.
Could you imagine your HR having to answer an email about 5 things they did in a week? They probably couldn't. So some of these people that have worked from home for the last couple of years have gotten nothing but fatter and lazier.
Oh, they're healthy.
And now they have to answer for it. And they're
upset that they're going to be losing their money. What did you say, Aaron?
I said I couldn't get our HR to answer a Teams message. It took her 3 days to respond.
Good fucking luck with that one.
All right.
She was online. Pretty sure she read it.
3 days later, you got that motherfucker.
3 days later.
Yeah. You got mail.
Yeah.
So what are they upset about initially? Like what's the hubbub about? Because they don't want to answer the email? They feel like they shouldn't? Like what's the issue? It's a fucking email.
Mm-hmm.
You answer the 5 questions. Or are you upset that if you do answer these 5 questions, you'll find that your job is irrelevant and you're going to lose that cash? Find another job. That's on you.
But they don't.
It's not even that. They just want to make sure, like, I listened to the interview.
Mhm.
They want to make sure that the email address actually is a live person.
Mm,
Because there are a lot that aren't.
and
So,
they're just funneling
like,
money
what the fuck's the
somewhere.
problem?
Yeah, I get it. All
Yeah.
right. So it's like I said earlier, Aaron, we were talking about this. That's my question. I don't know what the issue is. I've heard a woman describe it as being akin to what living in a dictatorship is. What? From answering a fucking
Answering
email?
emails.
A dictator would not send an email to find
No.
out if you're okay and if you're doing your job. No,
You just
he
show
would-
up there.
You would send the military at your door to
Yeah.
check on you.
That's crazy.
Hey, that's
North
what.
Korea
Well,
is
he doesn't
wild.
send the military.
But they're so brainwashed. What do they call it, Miranda?
I don't think I've ever seen a greater example of how disconnected from reality our federal employees are.
The feeling that I felt responding to that email was such a glimpse into a possible future here, a probable future here if we don't fucking do something about it. It felt so scary and so heartbreaking. It felt much like I would imagine living in a place like what I always imagined North Korea to be like would be like.
She just compared, non-ironically I might add, on the brink of tears, that having to respond to an email.
Yes.
Like you could hear her
Get there.
that what the people of North
Come
under
on.
their despotic ruler are going through is like having to respond to emails. How have we become this disconnected from reality?
So this is one thing I want to say about this is another thing I can't wait for it to go away, is these people who use these fucking platforms to do exactly what she did, to take it. I'm so sick of this whole victim mentality shit. Like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, everything bothers you to the point to where you're on the verge of tears over something. And I fucking hate it. Like, I hate that everything is so offensive or it's invading my safe space type shit. Like, I fucking hate that.
It's too bad. Grow up.
Oh my God. This whole woe is me mentality needs to fucking die. I get it. It's shit in a lot of places. But comparing answering a fucking email to what the people in North Korea are going through is insane.
Well, remember, January 6th was just as bad as 9/11 too.
That's another thing that just blew my fucking. Then you get compared to what got compared to the Holocaust?
Oh.
What the fuck was that?
What was that?
I don't remember.
I don't fucking remember either. I can't remember which fucking talking face said it. Was it? It was on The View, and I can't remember which one of these.
Then that
motherfuckers
explains it there.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this.
Their lives are so bad.
I can't wait for this whole thing to go away.
Their lives are so bad on The View.
This
woe is me.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yes.
I can't deal with people like that who and she said that shit so for real.
Yeah.
You know, if they sent me an email and told me to explain my job, I mean, it'd be slightly difficult, but I'd list some things off, and it'd be quite a big list.
Mm-hmm. Joy Behar on The View called Elon Musk a foreign agent and a supporter of. Oh, wow.
Mm.
Hey, good for. Hey, he got the money.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he'll be fine.
He got the money in the time.
You know.
Oh, this guy. This guy.
Okay.
Captain Eye Patch? Who is this guy?
Who is this?
Dan Crenshaw. He was going to beat Tucker's. Well, no, I'm sorry. He said he was going to kill
Tucker
Tucker
Carlson.
Carlson.
Okay.
Isn't he a representative, Miranda?
Yeah. Texas.
Yeah, he's a representative of Texas, and he got caught on a hot mic saying that he was gonna kill Tucker Carlson.
Okay.
If he was ever in front of him.
Okay.
Wild statement.
He said walked it back.
Oh, he did. What did he say?
Oh,
He said
I'd
he
have
didn't
to
mean
look it up, but
he misspoke.
yeah, like, and Tucker knows he didn't mean it. And...
Nah, he said that shit with full confidence. His POV is actually.
But you know what? It's just back to Brandon's like, woe is me.
You wild for that.
You know, I go ahead, Aaron.
Sorry. One of the things that I just find kind of appalling in the world right now, how we're so desensitized to the thought of just going out and killing somebody just because you disagree with them.
Yeah. It
You
just
know,
makes
like,
it a thing.
The whole thing with
One
the
hot
Luigi case and something, you know, I mean, I get it. Insurance companies are terrible and, you know, they're just stealing money out of innocent people who are just trying to become healthy, you know, but I don't agree with somebody taking the law in their hands and going and killing a CEO
just for that
reason. Because then if we start saying that is okay, then it's open season on anybody.
Mhm.
Like, let's say that, you know, the lady who lives across the street with you disagrees with you being a Trump supporter and thinks, oh, well, I'm just going to go into their house with an AK and just freaking shoot you up. And then are we supposed to be okay with that?
No, but that's the thing. We're not the ones trying to say that or normalize that fucking conversation. Like, I don't get from this generation of inclusion comes the most fucking radical and craziest ways to fucking deal with problems. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And again, it's this whole he invaded my safe space with his words, and so this justifies me doing this. I don't fucking like I said, looking forward to the day that we weed that part of fucking society out.
What?
The moment that part of society that believes that you can just shoot anyone for no reason, justice will lose its meaning, and we go back to the wild, wild west.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, some people would probably be happy about that, but
yeah. Others will lose their mind.
Yeah, for people that just want to build a life for their family and, you know, to hang out with their friends without the fear of death or anything else, you know, it's going to be a nightmare.
Like I said, it's shitty that, like,
yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he said that shit. He said that shit with full confidence. He said that shit.
Yeah,
he said it with his chest.
Yeah, that motherfucker said that. He said it twice. He said Tucker knows I was just bullshitting. Get out of here. You can't threaten me and then be like, I was just playing. Fuck
No,
off.
you can make those kind of jokes with like somebody who's like your best friend. I mean, kind of like you do, Brandon, me all the time. You say you're going to kill me all the time.
Yeah, I threaten you every day.
I still think it's racially motivated, but I mean,
I never said it wasn't. I don't feel like that you should either. Like I never said it wasn't. So there's that.
but anyway, but like I said, you have to know somebody.
Yeah. And
Well
if we're not
enough.
on the best of terms any fucking way, you say some shit like that, then it's like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Miranda, do you know the reason why Dan doesn't like Tucker? Like, is there something that happened? You're muted, by the way.
Sorry, I was watching Mark Zuckerberg dance and sing for his wife.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was really weird. Dan has always been an asshole, and Tucker has never been afraid to call him out on it. So that would be my guess.
Is his wife a man?
That's wild. You said that.
Mark's, I don't believe so, but she is Chinese.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's cool.
So,
I was just
I mean,
curious.
He looks the type for yellow fever.
That's wild.
Okay. What I said was bad. What Aaron said was worse.
All right. This about all the topics I got that I can work format. So if you want to end the show, let me know.
Okay. I mean,
So is this how we have a short show? We just gotta screw up Eric's internet.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
we're
gotta
doing that a bit too fast.
This dog is driving me crazy. I'm gonna let him back out, but just gotta take off my internet. Yep. I like the slideshow though. Well, we got to talk about it. That was that was crazy.
And when we kind of went on a fun tangent, he just immediately cut us to like the next topic. I'm like, oh, we can't go back now.
Next topic.
All right, Loki. Good. Did you
He up on you? He's probably got a poop. You better hurry up.
God. Yeah, I gotta let him outside. Oh shit.
Well, I'm glad I'm missing that.
Yeah, I really hope justice comes soon.
I hope so too.
And it's so nice to have the country ran by people we trust now, instead of people that would cower in fear. Does that make sense, Miranda?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I feel like we actually can trust our leadership now. And I actually feel like there's competent leadership, because let me tell you something. If that was the previous regime, they would have just handed him out money and said, go away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was bad.
Instead, Trump
You would have got another.
Trump basically said, fuck, I'm not dealing with this. And here, reporters, have his food while you're at it. We'll mock you even further.
Yeah.
All this food we have for him, yeah, you can fucking eat it. Fuck
You
him.
can just have it. Because you know what? Because if if you're not gonna, Europe's in for a rude awakening. They're either gonna start taking care of themselves, or they're not gonna exist.
Like, what you can't do is start making demands in a place where you don't hold the fucking leverage.
You don't hold shit.
Like, that's wild to me. Like, you need my help. You can't need my help and then come at me and insult me. Like, that's crazy.
Eric, do you have audio?
Yeah, for the moment.
For the moment, okay. You were talking about this at lunch. He doesn't hold any of the cards.
No.
That's what bugs me about it so much. He's literally a man who doesn't realize he's lost this war.
No.
He's the only one who can't admit it, and everybody else knows it.
He kept trying to interrupt Trump and say, "This is not a card game."
Yeah,
No,
but he
it's
wasn't
chess and
literally
you lost.
he wasn't literally saying he was playing a card game. He was using a metaphor, but it was I don't know if he wasn't getting the metaphor or what, but
No,
it
he
was
was trying to
Let me
make
tell you
Trump.
something.
He was trying to make him look stupid. That's what it was,
Yeah.
and it just didn't work.
the dictator thing, trying to play the big like
Yeah.
he's the bigger man. You know,
I don't know how many card games Vladimir Zelensky has played, but when you're not holding the king or the queen, you usually fold.
he's holding like a deuce.
Yeah, he's holding like a deuce and a 3. So he really needs to fold.
And deuces are not wild in this situation.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
I'll say this shit again, and I'll leave it at that. I'll be damned if you get to come in my house and insult me. You call me a bitch in my own house, bro. I'm gonna smack.
Yeah.
I smack the taste out your fucking mouth.
well, that's the thing that bugged me about it too. He did it in the White House, in the Oval Office area. Like, you don't just walk into another man's house and just disrespect him like that.
Off rip. I'm gonna look at everybody in that room and go, I'm gonna need y'all to turn these cameras off for a couple minutes. I gotta handle this shit because you ain't about to disrespect me in my own house.
Yeah, that was dumb.
I saw a really funny AI video of them beating the shit out of him after that.
You gotta show me that. You gotta show me that.
Oh, that's funny.
If I could find it again, but
You need to send it to everybody.
That's hands, big dog.
Although,
But nah, fuck him. It is what it is.
Brandon talks like he would fight somebody, but I have yet to see it.
You don't want to. I promise.
You don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever want to see Brandon like really angry.
You're like a chihuahua.
like fighting angry.
You bark.
I don't
and
know.
bark
I
and
saw
bark,
him
and
pretty
then when
angry
somebody
today.
comes up on you, you run away. And
No, Brandon. No, Matt.
No,
I'm talking like literally throw down angry. You've never seen that, Brandon.
No.
I've never seen that,
There's
Brandon. I
only
don't want to
2
see that,
people-
Brandon.
There's only 2 people at where we have that has got me to that point, and one of them, like I said, I wasn't even that mad. I was more or less pissed at the way the conversation went. But what I said to that person in that moment, I meant every fucking word of it. Every word of it. I said, if you're gonna act like a bitch, I'm gonna treat you like one. Meant
Nailed
that
it.
shit.
I'm trying to
That's
see if there's
crazy,
a couple
though.
more
I
of
don't-
these we can.
I don't think we've ever given Brandon a reason to be that mad at us.
Oh, I have.
No.
No, Matt.
there's
you're
one
annoying.
video I just sent.
All right, Matt, you're annoying, but it's
Oh.
in a sense of like a little brother annoying. I've never gotten mad at you.
There's another one.
I really do need to work on letting Brandon have his time to listen to his books.
For real,
Oh,
you just be
work.
talking to me, fam. I'll be like, yo. bro.
I need to realize that you just need to have your time. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh my. Okay.
Oh wait, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I gotta see
Hold
that,
on,
I
I'm
gotta see
working.
that, I gotta see
Hold on, I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up.
Okay,
Hold on.
okay.
Yeah.
I gotta
If
see
it-
this.
the thing with videos right now, they're a little touch and go. But oh shoot! No! Come back.
The kick was crazy.
That's outstanding. Yes, sir. AI is crazy, man. Hadouken! Hadouken! Anyway. This is the content we need.
This right here, like this right here is hilarious to me. It was hands off rip. The kick is crazy. The kick is crazy.
We can just leave this on a loop. We need to add this to like the politics intro. This
The
would be
kick is
dope.
crazy. Man, it looked like they was. It looks like they was came to blows. Like Trump got him with that first jab off rip because he wasn't ready for it.
It's
That
always weird
first
how
jab is
AI
crazy.
AI always has a weird morphine thing when it starts to. It's like whoop. I don't know why.
Wasn't Germany like the last country to go to war with the United States and Russia?
What does that say?
Huh?
Round 1 fight. That's
Fight?
hilarious.
Oh wait, there's
that
another
first, That first one was crazy.
Okay,
that
here we go.
jab, that jab was everything.
I don't know if there's music to this or not, but oh crap. Did it not go?
No, it's the same one.
Oh, I know what I did wrong. So that's the thing. I'm jumping screens here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Let's see. Here
People with AI, I wish I I had the creative enough like to do something like that. All right, hold on.
They're using Grok to build video games.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a lot
That
of
one-
weird finger things happening.
yeah,
there.
it's a lot
That was
of
not as good,
strange
I
things
don't think,
going on.
but
Nah, that first one was the one.
There
The
was-
first
yeah.
one was the one.
yeah. Mm.
The kick took me out. It looked like a baby leg. That shit was crazy.
That was great. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh, not 6 months. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're able to at least salvage some of
In
this.
other news,
Yeah.
on the 14th,
What was
What?
that?
Elon's had his 14th child.
All right.
I thought he was up to 13 with
Elon doing too much.
Ashley St. Clair. That was
No.
on 14?
Yeah, there's another one.
Oh my.
Yep.
Look, I like you,
With
Elon.
the same
and
one with Zillis. Is that
Who's that?
oh, the
the
same
mother
mother
of-
as little X. Because
Elon,
he's had
No.
like 4 or 5 with IVF, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but
Yeah,
he's had
but
like
this
4 or 5 women
is-
at this point as moms.
3-year-old twins and a 1-year-old is what she has. I would not want to fuck a newborn with all that going on.
Man.
Damn, bro.
More power to
Elon,
them.
find another hobby, bro.
Yeah, look, I like Elon, but he was getting some pushback from conservatives and stuff, because the thing is, conservatives always talk about how, family values, morality, not doing that sort of thing, not being, promiscuous like that. Now, granted, I don't hold Elon Musk to blame, because he's never once said he's conservative. He's always been Democrat, but he's just more common sense now than most left-wing people are. So I don't blame him for that, but he does not. And not only that, there were a lot of conservatives who would, just because Elon is now on our side, were coming out and supporting him and saying, it's all right, we support you, all this stuff. You can still support the man, but also criticize him where it's due. You know what I'm saying?
That's too many kids. And I
Because
get it.
a lot of these conservatives are making it look like it's okay to criticize the left when they do it, but when someone on our side, you don't criticize them. No, you can criticize Elon too.
Like,
Call
that's
out
too much.
a spade
That's-
a spade. You know what I mean?
That's too much, brother.
14 kids is.
Yep.
That's insane.
What do we
You can't spend quality time with 14 kids and have all
Hell
these
nah.
fucking businesses. And
I was going to show it tonight too. Did you see the left-wing hoax this week where they took a clip of Elon Musk walking off stage at a Trump rally and made it look
Yes.
like he just left his little son
His
on
son,
stage?
yeah,
But then
yeah,
if you
I've
see
seen
the
that.
full clip, he was clearly looking for him the entire time.
He
But-
didn't leave him like that. The kid went the wrong way. He called him back over. He gets on the stairs.
Kid
He
did
literally-
what kids do,
Yeah, the kid's waving at people and shit. He stops,
Yeah.
turns around, and wait for him to come back to him. Shut up, like whatever.
Loki's barking. Somebody's got to
Oh,
go.
all right, I gotta go.
Cool.
Well, I gotta go too. See you
Oh.
guys.
All right. We may end the show here anyway because it's getting kind of late, and we've ran through most of the topics anyway. And Lord knows we've had a bunch of problems. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Like Matt said earlier, it is very windy here where we live right now. So I'm hoping that's the issue. But I've never had that problem with wind before. But
It's very windy outside, so I don't. If there is an issue, it's probably from that.
I hope that's all it is. We'll find out next week.
Mine jumps sometimes when the wind gets like that too. So
Yeah. So I guess we'll just go ahead and end the stream here tonight, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. If you've watched this entire time, it's been at least some entertaining things, because when things like this happen, you got to go on the fly. But hopefully next week things will go off more without a hitch, and we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit like, hit subscribe, all that jazz. You know the drill. We're going to get out of here tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and God bless. We'll be back next week, hopefully with a better show. Later.
Good night.
Later. Good night.